a horror anime dating sim. I know nothing about it. I just know it's meant to be. It's on a bunch of lists as like one of the scariest games ever made. I've never played an anime dating sim before, so we're gonna see how this fucking goes. I have no idea what's gonna happen. Hey, I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air, like she's totally oblivious to any attention I draw to herself. The girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'll never see yourself making today, but just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together in days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently and get tired of waking up. If she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. Haha. I overslept again, but I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. Hey, you say that you're thinking about ignoring me? That's mean, Josh. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. This is already making kind of... But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you wanted to. Whatever you say, sorry, hee. Cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near the street, I'm increasingly speckled by the students making the daily commute. By the way, Josh, have we decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. Hey, that's not true. You told me you would join a club this year, did I? Sure, it's possible that I did, in one of many other conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little bit too much about me, then I'm perfectly content in getting by the average while spending my free time on games and anime. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? God, this is a lot for me. Okay. Okay, it's meant to get creepy at some point. And I know you're happy now, but I'll die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. I forgot what the word NEET is. You don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright, I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay, why did I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself resent her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind a little less, but even she does exaggerate everything inside her head. Hey, any setting. Oops. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I packed my things, I stared blankly at the wall for an ounce of motivation. What the fuck? Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I've no choice but start with the anime club. Hello, Sayori. Sayori must come to the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Thanks, Sayori. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait for me, it's gonna make you late for your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought you'd know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori? Yeah. There's no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the Literature Club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. God. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title Vice President. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Oh, yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Yeah, fuck you. Come on, please, why do you care so much anyway? Well, I'm kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. I already made cupcakes and everything. Hee. Do I get like an option in what I'm doing, or am I just like reading? I don't know how these dating sim games work. Don't make me promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she's so cunning as to have planned all this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake. Yes, let's go. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. Oh god. Am I? I don't know how this works. Do they have? Maybe they do. I don't think they do. I think this is me gonna talk. I don't know. Have you heard of this game, Gino? It's called what's it called? Doki Doki Literature Club. Only big budget for the voice lines. Have you played it? I have it on my games list. I don't know. I'm curious. I've heard You're afraid? I don't know. I saw it on like a bunch of lists of like the scariest games of all time, and I was like, fuck it, it's a weird anime dating sim. I kind of have to try it out. I need to move this so that it's not blocking the text bubbles. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. Told you, don't call me a new member. Hey, I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Thank you, Girl 1. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Josh, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What? What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude whose name is apparently Natsuki is the one I don't recognize. The small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She is also the one that made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsaki. Ah well, it's nice to meet both of you. Oh, and it sounds like you already know Monika, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Josh. Monika smiles sweetly. We do know each other well. We rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monika was probably the most popular girl in the class, smart, beautiful, athletic, basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me genuinely feels a little... You too, Monika. Come sit down, Josh. We made a room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monika. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I get a little too excited. And how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. What? As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there's one space next to Monika and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsaki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Ooh! Ooh! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. Aww. The whiskers drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monika. I follow. It's delicious! Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. She is waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like I haven't heard this somewhere before. Made them for you or anything. I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe, but not for you, you know, dummy. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You take a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers give us permission. After all, doesn't a cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monika raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seems really happy here, so... That's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Ah, well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. And I'm surprised there are more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab their attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can already grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they're all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So Josh, what kind of things do we like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I muttered quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Josh, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, cleanly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, but not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Ooh, okay. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasp at something I can relate to at the minimum level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you, I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes you to another world, then I can't really put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually write about things, cute things, don't you, Natsuki? Gino, I think he's still here.
Gino, hi Gino.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is... Gino's still here, yay. Love you, Gino. This game is so strange. What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud. Gino says, hi, Sophia. Give that back.
I have nothing. It's just love.
Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems. Everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori. It'd be fun if you were on a Discord call with a lot of people and everyone had a part. That would be fun. I mean, you can join in if you want, Gina. Jeez. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuri and puts her hand on his shoulders. Do you want it? I can call you on Discord right now. Oh, you're working on Edition. Oh, no. Oops, wrong button. I'm not cute. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Are you doing the, Oh, yeah, I heard. God. Was one of them the one that you told me about earlier? Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? Not to spoil anything. No. Natsuri averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Ah, not a very confident writer yet. Boston accent one. I mean, Chicago's not that far from Boston. Kinda. Closer than LA. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuri feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and sharing even the deepest riches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuri feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Aw, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuri and Yuki look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. That sounds boring. The next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way everyone is even. Yay, let's do it. Plus now we have a new member. I think it'll help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Josh? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. Eh? What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly came forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made my decision. Still have the other clubs to look at and, I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought... Josh, you all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club! One by one, the girls all light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! Please, I'd love that. I'd love to see that, Gino. You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came up with for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then, that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Josh, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Hee. Yeah. I can really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welding up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Nutsaki clean up their food. Hey Josh, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, Sarah and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsaki, Yuri, and of course, Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Am I gonna have to write the poem? Oh, thank God. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. She liked horror. So I'm gonna say ambient. Is it still her? How does this work? Am I just picking random words? Suicide. Boop. Imagination. Essence. Intellectual. Captive. Passion. Tragedy. Extraordinary. Entropy. Scars. She said she liked horror. That's my favorite. So dramatic. Grief. Vivacious. What is Doki Doki? I don't know what that is. Misfortune. Graveyard. After image. The fuck is that? I wanted to know. Misery. Uncanny. Massacre. Dark. Hi again, Josh. Glad to see you didn't run away on us, haha. Not to worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Josh. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when it's not your... when you're not accustomed to it? Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Are these like teenagers? I hope they're not, because that would make me very uncomfortable. Cupcake Girl is not gonna like yours. Probably not. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Josh always gives his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. That's so you two are already good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Josh become good friends too. Sayori? As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know. What? Sayori? Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. Guess it's been time for me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. Is that what's gonna happen? Wouldn't be surprised. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll me? No, I haven't. Is that similar to this? It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out. Yeah, what's it like? So I picked out a book I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'd like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. It's twisted they made an anime after the game, but I like it. Huh. There's that one anime I watched, I think, was it called like Murder Party or something? I'm pretty sure that's actually what it's called. I think it was called Murder Party. I watched the anime. There's only like 6 episodes and they're all pretty short. It was very brutal, actually, quite gruesome. But I think it was a game. Is that it? I think it might be. It seems there's a tie between purple hair and red hair. Yeah, I think that was it, because it was... I didn't play the game ever, but I watched... No, it's different. Is the anime called Dragon Path? Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in... Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Mona to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I'd feel bad for distracting her from reading. Catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and her eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was so focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading the bit of this, so... That's the book you just gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason, just curious how come you have 2 copies of the exact same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, and that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I didn't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school, who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. And no matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so the dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Josh? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy these kind of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into these things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just those kind of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals, their own philosophy that they can believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. This is a lot of projection going on here. They made out, I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then, but I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange, and please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well start reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you're looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieve the book that I put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to, it's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open up the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but it is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the other room. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you're really apologizing a lot, don't you? I do. I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here. This should work, right? I slide my desk up until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to open the book, hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready, To turn the page? Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glanced over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know if I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a little bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently leaning in front, letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second-guesses all of the things she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see in your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Josh, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think. What? I didn't mean in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really don't know you're self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kinda down. Oh god, my poem. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some reading tonight. Or would you prefer if I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much preference either way. In that case, I'll read a bit more tonight. It'll be more fun to read it with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first two chapters on your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then I slip it back into my bag. That's what a bookmark is for. By the way, do you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait. Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuri and Yuri reluctantly complies while reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Oh god, Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's gonna hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So? What kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah. Okay, this is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. And I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds a train of thought as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. It's not finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example, and trying new things. I also hope that everyone in the club gives you valuable feedback. Matsuri can be a little bit biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, or to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, this is supposed to be a literature club. Ghost under the light. The fuck is that word? The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm. Breathing. Air of the pleasant but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry if I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Eh? That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Who? Actually, the story isn't about ghosts at all, Josh. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, suppose you only did glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Hey? It's nothing, really. Yours is impressive too, so... if anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm gonna keep doing my best for you, Josh. Me too. Josh, if you're gonna take this club seriously, then... If you're not gonna take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. What? You expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put an effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about. Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I'll tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly. Good music. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can sleep, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try. That's about it. That was bad. It's dopey. Yeah. I told you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But Isn't this the point of poems for people to express themselves? The writing style wouldn't make your messages any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. I didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with the last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Nusaki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. That's about it. I hate it. Is Monica next? Hi, Josh. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever had any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, I want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I'll have to. Ha ha ha. Don't worry, Josh. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's a sort of barrier we all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Josh. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. Fuck you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism, unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love for you to try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to be not very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. This game is not self-aware, nope. Hole in the wall. It couldn't have been me. See, the direction of the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind like a film left out in the sun. That's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It wasn't too deep. Stretching forever into everything, a hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. So what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be very powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if you know how to put it. Guess you could say I had some kind of epiphany recently. Been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. I wonder who. Skip. Fuck you. This is a good poem, Josh. Are you sure it is your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who'd be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you've really been a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but it doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Josh. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Why am I selfish? Try new things like this for other people? That's something only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That'll be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold on to that then. Yay! Now you read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. Well, we'll see about that. Dear Sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you miss me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? Now look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but now I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No? Just a little bit? You can't answer just a little bit to yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least it makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Don't be mean. I want breakfast. Always want breakfast. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah, especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school, it's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. Hehehe. This is so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I'll look forward to it. Phew, I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself up into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Utsaki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration, meanwhile Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language, eh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returned the poem to the desk with one hand. Guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Eh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who I actually liked. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Josh did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you suggestions on my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect to change it anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. And Josh liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Music stopped. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress a new member, Yuri. Eh? That's not what I... Ooh? You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Josh appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. The music changed. Now, do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No? If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Ooh? Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the only one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Josh started showing up. Fuck. The fuck? Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly both girls turn towards me. I've noticed I was standing there. Josh, she's trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. She should get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective. Then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making all your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader and not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Josh. What? There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meanings that most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Josh? How do I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. Definitely, Yuri. I've fucking pissed her off. You're right, I liked your poem. See? Wait. That's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri, hey, you're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, but here's the thing. I sound really... Still putting feelings in... When you say a poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that. I'm sorry. Ooh. But Misaki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well. If you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Suki, I think that's enough. You both said some things you didn't mean. That Yuri apologized. Woo-woo. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fists. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped at this point, being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. Sayori, she doesn't need to. You know what? I'm going to do that. It'll spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. Without warming, Natsuki snatches her own poem up from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Sorry, she really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in an adjacent chair. Sigh. I feel it. Everything alright? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri. How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being threatened like that? You handled it so well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, Josh, you're too kind. I'm thankful to have you as a part of this club now. It's nothing. One more thing. That one thing that Mitsaki said about, I would never do anything so shameful. So, what thing did Mitsaki say? Well, never mind that. I'm gonna go make some tea. Good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay? Yeah. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I did say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Josh, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. Maybe you'll learn something from your friends, too, so your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, did I learn a bit more about the kinds of poems everyone likes? With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Josh, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Hehe. Sayori beams at me. Truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier, eh? What do you mean? Between Yuri and Natsuki, does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise, they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Phew. Josh, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club, but I think seeing you get along with everyone is what really makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's... Hee. Every day is going to be so much fun. Sigh. Looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than her, but that's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. do it, is it? Okay. I want to do a background there. Put a background over the chat, but apparently that's not going to happen. Graveyard. Incapable. Secretive. Incongruent. Unrestrained. That's just a big word. That's not even a complicated word. That's just a big word. I don't know what that word means there. Disoriented. Imagination. Landscape? Insight. Misfortune. Variance. Inferno. Unrequited. Massacre. Determination. Gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me. Hi Josh, yo Sayori. Looks like you're in the good mood today. Hehehe. I'm just still not used to you being in the club, that's all. I see. It's a pretty simple thing to get you in a good mood. Excuse me. It's a pretty simple thing to get you in a good mood. But I guess it's always the simple things with you anyway. Speaking of which, I'm kinda hungry. Will you come with me to buy a snack? No thanks. Eh? That's not like you at all. I have my reasons. Why don't we take a look at your purse? What? Why don't we take a look at your purse, Sayori? Eh? Why that all of a sudden? No reason really. I just wanted to look at it. Eh? Sayori nervously retrieves her coin purse. She fumbles with the latch and gets it open. Then she turns it upside down and lets its contents spill onto the desk. Only 2 small coins fall out. I knew it. I can see right through you, Sayori. It's not fair. How did you even know? It's simple. If you had enough money in the first place, you would have bought a snack before coming to the club room. So either you're not hungry and wanted an excuse to take a walk, or you plan to conveniently forget that you spent all your money, so I would lend you some. Is this? But there's one more thing. You're always hungry. And so that only leaves one option. What? I give up. Don't make me feel guilty. If you feel guilty, that means you deserve to feel guilty. Ahaha. Yuri suddenly giggles. Eh? I did notice that she was listening in. Her face is in her book, as always. Aha! I wasn't listening or anything. It was just something in my book. Do you know people like that? Something in my book. Yuri! Tell Josh to let me borrow some money. Don't get me involved like that, Sayori. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. And frankly, after pulling a mischievous little stunt like that, your suffering is fair enough retribution. I didn't mean that. I got too absorbed in my book. Ooh. Haha. I really like it when you speak your mind, Yuri. It doesn't happen much, but it's a fun side of you. There's no way you could think that. You were right through. I did something bad, now I have to accept the revolution? Retribution. Oh, what's the point? That. Still coming from you, Sayori. I guess there's a little devil inside all of us, isn't there? Don't let her fool you. Sayori knows exactly what she's doing. After all, she told you guys she was bringing me to the club before she even told me. But you wouldn't have come if it weren't for the cupcakes. So I had to trick Natsuki into making them. Come on, give me more credit than that, Sayori. Right. What the fuck? Kaya! Out of nowhere, something smacks Sayori in the face and she tumbles to the desk. Ow. What was a cookie? Sure enough, it's a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayori glances around. Is this a miracle? Is it because I paid my restitution? Retribution. Actually, that one almost worked. Ha ha ha. I was just gonna give it to you, but then I heard you blab about the cupcakes. It was totally worth seeing your reaction though. Natsuki, that's so nice of you. So happy. Sayori hugs the cookie. Jeez, just eat it. Sayori rapidly tears open the wrapper and takes a big bite. So good. Humph. Sayori suddenly clasps her hands over her mouth. I bit my tongue. Hehe. You're going through a lot over just one cookie. Natsuki takes a bite of her own cookie. Yours looks really good too, Naoki. Can I try it? Jeez. Beggars can't be choosers. Yours is chocolate. Yeah, why do you think I gave you that one? Fine. She could have got 2 chocolate ones. Still, I'm really happy that you shared this one with me. Hehe. Sayori gets out of her seat and goes behind Natsuki, then wraps her arms around her. Jeez. I get it. Cookie still in hand, Natsuki reaches up to nudge Nayori off her. Oomph. Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite out of Natsuki's cookie. Hey, did you seriously just do that? Woohoo! Mouthful, Sayori trots away to safety. Yuri and I laugh as well. Geez, you're such a kid sometimes. Monica, can you tell Sayori? Eh? Natsuki glances around. Monica isn't in the club room. Ugh, where's Monica anyway? Good question. Have any of you heard anything about her being late today? Not me. Yeah, I haven't either. That's a bit unusual. I hope she's okay. Of course she's okay. She probably just had something to do today. She's pretty popular after all. Eh? You don't think she has a... wouldn't be surprised. She's probably more desirable than all of us combined. That's true. Excuse me? Suddenly the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. There you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Eh? Monica chose the club over her boyfriend after all. You're so strong-willed. Boyfriend? What on earth are you talking about? Monica quizzically glances at me. Never mind that. What held you up anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kinda lost track of time. That makes no sense though. You would have heard the bell ring at least. I must not have heard it since I was practicing piano. Piano? I wasn't aware you played music as well, Monica. I don't really. I kinda just started recently. I've always wanted to learn piano. That's so cool. You should play something for us, Monica. That's... Monica looks at me. Maybe once I get a bit better I will. Yay! That sounds cool. I also look forward to it. Slick. Is that so? In that case, I wouldn't let you down, Josh. Monica smiles sweetly. I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that. Don't worry. I've been practicing a whole lot recently, and I'd really love the chance to share once I'm ready. I see. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So I didn't miss anything, did I? No, not really. I choose to leave out Sayori's mischievous escapade. I'm sure Natsuki will end up complaining to her anyway. It looks like everyone is already settled down. Sayori somehow already finished her entire cookie. Yuri is back to her book and Natsuki disappeared into the closet. Ugh. Hey Yuri. Eh? I suddenly noticed that Yuri is reading a different book from the one we've been reading together. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. No, I was just kinda waiting for you. And if that's the case, why don't we go ahead and get started? Yes, let's. Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first? Not at all. Thanks very much. If there's one thing that can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well. Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind with a filter inside. Can you hold this for a second? Sure. Yuri hands me the water pitcher and fetches the electric kettle. I'm going to plug this to the teacher's desk and then go get some water. She walks past me and sees the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts to her speaking mannerisms. Especially because of her long legs, Yuri appeared elegant and methodical. Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks, I'll be right back. I might as well walk with you. Yeah, why not? Shall we go then? Yeah. Where are the two of you off to? Yuri was gonna make some tea, so... I suddenly realized how weird it sounds to explain this to Monica. We're just filling the water pitcher. Okay. Sorry, I was just being a bit curious. That kind of one-person job, isn't it? Monica, please mind your own business for once. Or do you want to tell me that there's something wrong with helping involve Josh in club activities? Eh? My mouth gapes. I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. Then let's go, Josh. Yuri quickly exits the room and I follow. Once in the hallway, she suddenly puts her forehead against the wall. I spoke without thinking. How could I say something like that? Yuri? Something about the way she said that. It made me feel so irritated. What's wrong with me? No, Yuri. I think you did the right thing. I wasn't expecting it, but it's also not right for Monica to judge people like that. Josh, how come even when I do something bad, you're being nice to me? Because nothing that you do is as bad as it makes you seem in your head. Nobody's perfect. We have emotions, and we can't always hide them anyway. But you always amplify things in your head. Mine turns a light rain shower into a hurricane. No. Would you hate me for something as terrible as that? Why would I hate you? I can't hate someone for having emotions. What kind of friend would do that? Friend, you say? Yuri lifts her head. Josh, I really like being friends with you. Thanks, Yuri. I like being friends with you too. I feel kind of awkward saying something like that, but I'm doing my best to help Yuri feel better. Anyway, yeah. Shall we go? Yeah. Yuri and I walk to the nearest water fountain. Once we fill up the water pitcher, we return to the classroom. Josh, do you like oolong tea? Yeah. Anything's fine. Very well. Yuri sets the temperature to the kettle to 200 degrees. This is very descriptive. Now it's time to get to the teapot. You really do this properly, don't you? Of course. I shouldn't do anything less when I'm making tea for others, even if I'm not an expert at tea or anything. Who? In that case, you'll only ever be more impressed. Perhaps I will. Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in good mood now. Is that so? I was letting it show, and you noticed. I was doing a bit of thinking, and I decided that I would try expressing myself a bit more. It turns out that it's not very hard for me to do, when it's just you who's around anyway. That's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much. You're always worrying about me, Josh. It's very endearing. Yuri wasn't kidding. I didn't even know if I could keep up with this. I'll watch Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us. Josh, I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today? Eh? Why's that? It's a little bit easier on my back. I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending over at my desk. Sorry, I didn't realize. No worries. I just have a back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it. Is that so? I wonder why that is. It's most likely because of your posture, right? Always hunched over like that while reading? Yes. I have some terrible reading posture, so that's why we sit on the floor. Fair enough. I'll go ahead and get the book. I retrieve the book from my bag. I have some chocolates as well. It's a bag of small chocolates and candies that I keep hidden from Sayori's candy radar. I take it since it'll go well with the tea. Yuri and I then sit against the wall, teacups at our side. As if in sync, we assume the same reading position as the last time, each one of us holding half of the book. Except this time, our bodies are even closer to each other. I can't see too well. Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri was always kind of cute, but when she's being less apprehensive, it's almost more than I can handle. Your teacup. Yuri hands me my teacup. Holding it with my hand that's not holding the book. I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus, because now I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her chest. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I use all of my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally manage to relax a little. I put the teacup between my legs and fumble with the chocolate wrapper. Sorry. I briefly let go of the book to finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. That's okay, I won't take any. Are you sure? Well, if I touch it, then it might get smudges on the pages. You're right. I didn't even think about that. My bad. No need to apologize. I'll hold the book, okay? Are you sure? Of course. Yuri opens the book with both hands. She holds it so I don't have to have any harder of a time reading from it. but as a result her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. Well, in that case, Yuri is already totally focused on reading again. I take chocolate candy and pop into my mouth. Then I take another chocolate and hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if the situation was completely natural. That means I can't stop here. I apprehensively place the chocolate in her mouth. Just like that, Yuri closes her lips over it. Eh? Yuri's expression suddenly breaks. Did I just... Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened. Josh. Sorry. I guess I shouldn't have done that. That's... well, you're just helping. That's something that friends do, right? I mean, not really in this kind of context, but yeah. That's all it was. Yeah. Then, you don't need to stop or anything. I see. The situation has gotten really tense. Yuri tries to return to the book, but I can just tell her expression that she can't focus now. My heart is pounding. I nervously take another chocolate between my fingers, but this time Yuri's eyes meet mine. How did it even come to this? Yuri doesn't avert her gaze. I noticed her chest rising and falling to the rhythm of her breasts. I raise my arm. Like before, Yuri parts her lips, but it's different this time. I take the chocolate and place it in her mouth. I feel her hot breath on my fingers. Okay, everyone. What? Yuri jolts back. It's time to share my poems. Josh, you can help Yuri put away the tea stuff, right? Yeah, of course. Okay, thanks. The spell is abruptly broken. I'll take care of the cups. Yeah. Yuri picks up the teacups. I pick up the bags of chocolates. At the end, we hastily clean up without much as a word between us. I get the feeling this is something neither of us will have the courage to bring up. Oh, I have to do it too. No worries, Gino. Have fun. Good luck with the audition. Ooh, silent audition. See what you've written for today. Yuri stares at the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it? Josh, this one might be even better than yesterday's. How did you pick up this so quickly? Just yesterday I was telling you the kind of techniques worth practicing. Maybe that's why. You did a good job explaining. I really wanted to try giving it more imagery. Yuri visibly swallows. Even her hands appear sweaty. I'm not used to this. Used to what? I don't know. It's fine. Take your time. Yuri breathes and collects her thoughts. I know that Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so offer their patience to her. Yeah, just being appreciated like this, I guess. Probably sounds really stupid, but seeing someone motivated by my writing just makes me really happy. Are you saying you've never shared your writing before? Yuri nods. Really? I don't believe it. I really only write for myself. And besides, people would just laugh at me. Do you really think that? Again, Yuri nods. Huh. Even your close friends? Yuri doesn't respond to that. Wonder why. Anyway, do you want me to share the poem you wrote today? Yeah, I do. And if it's with you... The raccoon. It happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scuttling of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as an ordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread, my subconscious well aware of the consequences, well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom. The bread, my hungry curiosity, the raccoon, an urge. The moon increments of its phase and reflects that much more light off my cutting knife. The very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice bread fresh out of the fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited. Or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions into the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows its excitement. A rush of blood, classic Pavlovian conditioning. I slice the bread, and I feed myself again. I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday. I can see that. It's a lot more metaphorical. I don't know if it's my fault, but I can't begin to imagine what this poem is about. That's alright. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style, using the poem as a canvas to express its vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. Yeah, I take it at face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean. Well, I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way. I wanted to express the way it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. It's those sort of things I'm usually forced to keep to myself, so I sometimes enjoy writing about them. Why do you keep to yourself? Because they're embarrassing and people would make fun of me. Don't you have anything like that, Josh? Well, yeah, I guess I do. I feel like everyone has something like that. The best we can do is respect each other and our individualities, even if it's difficult sometimes and some things make us uncomfortable. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself. I might be ranting a little bit now, but I'm glad you're a good listener. You're good at a lot of things. Writing, listening. There really aren't many people like you, Josh. That's exaggerating a little bit. It's just how I feel. I never thought it would feel so comfortable sharing my writing, but now I almost feel like I look forward to it. It's just a really nice feeling. And you're to thank for that. It's nothing really. Carrie smiles sincerely at me. For just a moment, her timidness seems to disappear. Well, I can admit it's better than the last one. It's nice to see you're putting in some effort. That's good. But I still don't like this at all. It's trying too hard to be serious. Huh? What do you mean by that? Poems don't need to be all deep-sounding to express something. It's gonna just sound like you're forcing it unless you really don't suck at all. Honestly, don't bother trying to write poems like this unless you're on Yuri's level. Natsuki stops. Don't tell me. Hey? What the fuck? You're not trying to impress Yuri, are you? What are you talking about? Keep your voice down. You know Yuri would love this kind of angsty. Just because she's a talented writer doesn't mean I'm... Ooh? Looks like I'm in trouble. Somehow I struck a nerve through what I did beyond me. I'm so done with you. Natsuri shoves the poem I handed her back over to me. Take your stupid poem. If you wrote it for someone else, just don't show it to me. Ouch. This is what I get for letting a younger girl step into my business. Unless I was a mind reader, I was destined to be in a world of pain from the start. At least Natsuki wasn't really the girl I was trying to impress in the first place. What should I try my poem to next? In the same order that I did last time. Hi again, Josh. How's the writing going? Alright, I guess. I'll take that. As long as it's not going bad. I'm happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. Haha, I wouldn't count on that. You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today? Sure, here you go. Give my poem to Monica. Alright, this one's good. Feels like you're not only getting more comfortable with your style, but the imagery is better than the last one. Just wondering, but have you been finding inspiration in Yuri's writing style? I guess so. Can't deny that she's talented. Yeah, totally. I think her poems are the most romantic. That's the best way to describe it. She's like a totally different person when she picks up a pen. I noticed that too. But when she's talking about literature, it's like a light turns on. Sadly, it's hard to get much personal conversation out of her. Trust me, I've tried. Who knows what goes on in that head of hers? I hope you don't mean that in a bad way. No, of course not. It just meant that I wish she didn't keep so much to herself. But still, defending her like that must be pretty into her. Eh? Completely misunderstood. Calm down, kidding. Besides, I'm pretty sure she's already got a boyfriend. What, really? Yeah, a fictional one anyway. Monica kind of whispered that last part to me. It's just a hunch, but... Well, that's not really anything wrong with that. Oh well, I know. I was just saying. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turns out, so I hope you do too. Alright, let's take a look. Save me. The colors, they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors. Flashing, expanding, piercing. Red, green, blue. An endless cacophony of meaninglessness. The noise, it won't stop. Violent, grating waveforms. Squeaking, screeching, piercing. Sine, cosine, tangent. Like playing a chalkboard on a turntable. Like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust. An endless poem of meanings. It's even more abstract than your last one, huh? guess it was just the way I write. I'm sorry if you don't like it. No, I never said that. It's just kind of the thing I've never really seen before, I guess. I kind of like playing with my space on the paper. Choosing where and how to space your words can totally change the mood of a poem. It's almost like magic. The way I write lines really short makes it feel like they're trying to speak over the noise. See, it's still hard for me to tell what it's about, though. Sometimes asking what a poem is about isn't the right question. A poem can be as abstract as a physical expression of a feeling or a conversation with the reader. So putting it that way, not every poem is about something. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. You never know when you might change your mind or when something unexpected may happen. What is this tip even about writing? Well, what am I even talking about? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Man, they really do tease the horror stuff in this, don't they? Ooh, I like this one, Josh. There's some nice feelings in it. I'm glad. Does this mean it's better than yesterday's? Let me think. I don't know. I guess I like them both. Hee. That's not very helpful, you know. Well, I'm not very good at figuring out if poems are good or bad. But that's why I just go by my heart. It makes me feel things, and it must be a good poem. I'm not sure that's exactly how it works. And again, I guess conveying feelings is a pretty important part of this whole thing. Yeah, maybe. Honestly, I don't even know what kind of writing you like in the first place. Yeah, me neither. Why don't you at least try giving it some thoughts? Aw, you want to write something for me? That's so sweet. Yeah, right, but you're always thinking about other people. You need to think about yourself once in a while. Don't you might up getting hurt at some point, eh? Well, I don't really know what you mean, but try to keep it in mind. Well, whatever. Anyway, let's see. I guess I like happy poems. Wait, sometimes I like sad poems too. Sometimes a little bit of both. There's a word for that, right? What's the word I'm looking for? Bittersweet. Yeah, I like things that are happy and things that are sad. Happy and sad? I can see you liking something sad. I can't see you liking something sad, Sayori. Well, I like happy the most, but sometimes when you have a little rain cloud in your head, a sad poem can help get the rain cloud a little hug and make a nice happy rainbow. Sayori, that's unexpectedly poetic. Eh, is it? Maybe I'm getting better expressing my feelings after all. Thanks, Josh. I should go write that down then. You can read my poem now, okay? Bottles. I pop off my scalp like a little cookie jar. It's a secret place where I keep all my dreams. Little balls of sunshine all rubbing together like a bundle of kittens. I reach inside with my thumb and forefinger and pluck one out. It's warm and tingly, but there's no time to waste. I put it in a bottle to keep it safe, and now I put the bottle on a shelf with all the other bottles. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts in a bottle, all in a row. My collection makes lots of friends. Each bottle is starlight to make amends. Sometimes my friends feel a certain way. Down comes a bottle to save the day. Night after night, more dreams. Friend after friend, more bottle. Deeper and deeper my fingers go, like exploring a dark cave, discovering the secret hiding in the nooks and crannies. Digging and digging, scrapping and scrapping. I blow dust off my bottle caps, it doesn't feel like time elapsed. My empty shelf could use some more, my friends look through my locked front door. Finally, all done, I open up, and in come my friends. In they come, such a hurry. Do they want my bottles that much? I frantically pull them from the shelf one after the other, holding them out to each and every friend, each and every bottle. But each time I let one go, it shatters against the tile with my feet. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts, and shards all over the floor. They were supposed to be for my friends who aren't smiling. They're all shouting, pleading, something. But all I hear is echo, 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 inside my head. Holy crap. Sayori, did you really write this? Of course I did. Didn't I tell you yesterday I was going to write the best poem ever? Yeah, but, I didn't expect something like this coming from you. Monica told me a whole lot, and I've been really in touch with my feelings recently. I see that. It's almost kind of creepy. Creepy? Well, not exactly. Maybe because I'm so used to you being cheerful. Well, never mind. I'm thinking too hard about it. The point is it came out good. You should be proud of it. Oh, thanks. I feel like I was meant to express myself this way. It even helps me understand my own feelings a little better. Writing is like magic. You've gotten pretty passionate about this, huh? I hope you keep it up. Yeah, Writing's the best. I'm gonna keep writing until I die. Don't get ahead of yourself. Sayori's always had a habit of getting obsessed with something before dropping it no more than a week later. I wonder if this is one of those times. But seeing the passion in her eyes makes it hard for me to be pessimistic. Okay, everyone. We're all done reading each other's poems, right? I have something extra planned today, so if everyone could come sit at the front of the room. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. Do we really have to do something for the festival? It's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days. We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members. That's a concern of mine as well. I don't really do well with last-minute preparations. Don't worry so much. We're gonna keep it simple, okay? We won't need much more than a few decorations. Sayori has been working on posters and I've designed some pamphlets we could get out during the event. Okay, that's great and all, but that doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event. Sorry, I thought you heard about it already. We're going to be performing. Performing? Monica. Yeah, we're going to have a poetry performance. Each of us are going to choose a poem to recite during the event. But the cool part is, we're also going to let anyone else come up and recite poems too. Sayori's putting it on all the posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Hehe. Sayori, who's been coloring a poster that holds it up for us to see. Are you kidding me, Monica? You didn't already start putting those posters up, did you? Well, I did. Did you really think it's that bad an idea? Well, no. It's not a bad idea, but I didn't sign up for this, you know? There's no way I'm going to be performing in front of a group of people like that. I agree with Natsuki. I could never in my life do something like that. Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys? No, Sayori. I understand what they're coming from. Remember that Natsuki and Yuri have never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple days ago. It's a lot to ask for them to recite their poems out loud to a whole room full of people. I guess I kinda overlooked that. So, sorry. But I still think we should give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. We start the event and each put on a good performance, and we'll inspire others to do the same. And the more people who perform, the better we'll be able to show everyone what literature is all about. Yeah, it's about expressing your feelings, being intimate with yourself, finding new horizons, and having fun. That's right, and it's those reasons we're all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with others? To inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? I know you do. I know we all do. And if all it takes is standing in front of the room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it. Natsuki and Yuri remain silent. Sayori looks worried. I guess it leaves me no choice. I agree. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think that Sayori and Monica have been trying really hard to get new members. The least we can do is help them out a little bit. Well, maybe, but... Looks like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments left. Oh, okay, fine. I guess I'll just have to get over it. Alright. Phew. Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri? Yuri dejectedly glances around everyone else's expression faces. Sigh. I guess I don't really have a choice. Aha, that's awesome. You're the best, Yuri. This club is seriously going to be the death of me. Oh gosh, you'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. We're going to practice reciting them in front of each other. No way, Monica. This is all too sudden. Well, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of strangers? Oh no. Don't worry, I'll start off to help everyone feel a little more comfortable. Can I go next? Aha, of course. Now let's see. Monica flips through her notebook to a specific poem she has in mind for herself. She then stands behind the podium. The title of this poem is The Way They Fly. Monica begins reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. She knows exactly how to apply emotion behind each line she recites, bringing the words to life. Is this something she's done before, or is she simply a natural? Glance around me. Everyone has their eyes on Monica. Sayori looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face that I don't understand. Finally, Monica finishes the recitation. 4 of us applaud. Monica takes a breath and smiles. That was so good, Monica. Ah, thank you so much. I was just hoping I set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Sayori? I'll go next. What? Yuri's all fired up all of a sudden. Yuri clenches a sheet of paper between her hands and stands up. Keeping her head down, she walks quietly over to the podium. This poem is called... Yuri anxiously glances around each of us. You can do it, Yuri. It's called... After Image of a Crimson Eye. Yuri's voice shakes as she starts reading the poem. Just a moment ago, she practically refused to do this. Why is she suddenly putting in so much effort? As Yuri gets past the first couple lines, her voice changes. It's almost like what happens when Yuri gets absorbed into her books. Her quivering words transform into the sharp syllables of a fierce and confident woman. The poem is full of twists and turns in the structure that she enunciates with perfect timing. This must be a rare glimpse into Whirling's fire that Yuri keeps concealed inside of her. Suddenly, she's finished. Everyone is stunned. Yuri snaps back into reality and glances around her as if she bewildered even herself. It's up to me to save the situation. I'm the first to start applauding. Everyone joins me afterwards to give Yuri the recognition she deserves. It's not that we didn't want to applaud for her, but we were caught off guard. We were caught so off guard that we must have forgotten. As we applaud, Yuri holds the poem for her to her chest and rushes back into her seat. Yuri, that was really good. Thank you for sharing. Looks like Yuri is down for the count. Okay, guess I'm next then. So Yuri hops into the chair and carefully walks into the podium. This one's called My Meadow. Sorry I giggled. Sayori. It's a lot harder than I thought. How did you guys get it so easily? Try not to think of it like you're reciting to other people. Imagine you're reciting it to yourself, like in front of a mirror in your own head. It's your poem, so it'll come out the best that way. I see. Okay then. Sayori begins her poem. Somehow it feels like her soft voice was made as a perfect match. The poem isn't aimlessly cheery like Sayori is. It's sincere and bittersweet. If I were to read this on paper, I probably wouldn't think much of it. But hearing it come from Sayori's voice almost gives it a whole new meaning. Maybe this is what Sayori meant when she said she likes my poems. It's like I get to reach more deeply into someone I thought I knew through and through. Sayori finishes and we applaud. I did it. Good job, Sayori. Even Josh liked it. I guess that's a good sign. What does that even mean? Came out nicely. The atmosphere of the poem fits you very nice. But it might be the other poems that work quite as well. That wouldn't work quite as well with that kind of delivery. I don't really understand. In other words, I've seen poems of yours where that sort of gentle delivery wouldn't work as well. They might need a little more force behind them depending on what you're reading. Oh, I know what you mean. I've been practicing that sort of thing. It's just embarrassing to do in front of everyone. Next time I'm going to make you pick a poem that challenges you a little more. We don't have much time before the festival, you know. Okay, now who's next? Natsuri? They make me go before Josh. It's not like I can compare with you guys anyway. Might as well let Josh lower everyone's standards a little bit before I have to do it. It's fine. I might as well get it over with. But it's not like I have much of a selection of what to read. I'll just go with the one I wrote for today. Stand up in front of the podium. Everyone has their eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. Recite my poem. Since I'm not exactly confident in my own writing, it's hard to put energy into it. Despite that, once I finish, I receive applause. Sorry, it's not really as good as everyone else's. Don't worry about it so much. I think it's less about your abilities and more about your lack of confidence in your writing. That's something that'll improve over time, though. Yeah, maybe. Alright then. That just leaves you, Natsuki. Yeah. I'm going. Natsuki begrudgingly gets out of her seat and makes her way to the podium. The poem is called... Why are you looking at me? Because you're presenting. Anyway, the poem is called Jump. Sayori takes a breath. When she starts reading the poem, her sour attitude disappears a little. While she's still a little unenthused, her poem has a rhythm and a rhyme to it. It's Natsuri's trademark style, and it works surprisingly well when spoken aloud. The words feel like they bounce up and down as if giving life to the poem. Natsuki finishes and everyone applauds. She huffs back to her seat. That wasn't so bad, was it? Easy for you to say. You'd better not make me do that again. Ah, well. Do you at least feel prepared enough to recite a poem in front of other people? I mean, doing it in front of other people will be way easier. I can put on whatever face I want for other people. When it's just my friends, it's just embarrassing. That's a surprise, Missouri. I think it would be the other way around for me. Well, that's just how it is, so... Well, I guess in that case, I wouldn't have too much to worry about. The festival. Oh, voice. That says, I want to thank everyone for coming. It might be a little hard, but I hope you all have an idea of what's like now. Make sure you pick up a poem and get enough practice for the festival, okay? I'll be making pamphlets, so let me know ahead of time what you'll be reciting. Geez, I should probably find some other poem to recite instead. That's fine too. It doesn't have to be your own. I'm already presently surprised that you're putting in all this effort for the club. Makes me really happy. Ah yeah, no problem. Okay everyone, I think that's about it for today. I know the festival is coming up, but let's try to write poems for tomorrow as well. Been working out really nicely so far, so I'd like to continue that. As for the festival, we'll finish planning tomorrow, and then we'll have the weekend to recite. Monday's the big day. I can't wait. I can do this, I can do this. Alright. Stand up. There's no way I'll be able to find the same enthusiasm as Sayori and Monica, but I'll do my best to get through it. It's for the sake of the club, impressing Monica. Then I'll have to do my best. Ready to go, Sayori? Yep. Look at you two always going home together like that. It's kind of adorable, isn't it? Hehe. Jeez, guys, don't make such a big deal about it. Must be a little nice, though. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? It's okay, Josh. You don't have to say it. Whatever, let's go already. I walk home with Sayori once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot of things already changed. But today, Sayori's being a little quieter than usual on the way home. Hey, Sayori. Sorry, I was spacing out. Ah, no wonder. I was thinking about something from earlier. I like how we get to, Sayori fumbles with her words. So let's just say that one day Yuri asked to walk home with you. What would you do? What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. I'll walk home with Yuri. What does the thought of that? I mean, given how hard it is for socialize, I feel awkward turning her down, so... Isn't she so beautiful and smart? That has nothing to do with what I just said. Ah, you admitted it. Jeez. There's not even any point in speculating something that's never gonna happen. Or maybe. I just like to think about it. It's not long before we won't need me anymore. Need you? Sayori. Can't figure out how you're seeing things in your head right now. Sorry. Everyone is different. Nobody in the club is a replacement for you. If you say so. Conversation trails off and I left feeling awkward. It was kind of her fault for trapping me in such a weird situation. I just can't lie to her. But if there's something that makes her happy, I'd hate to take that away from her. That's why I said there's no point in speculating. Then again, the festival's only a few days away. Who knows what'll happen in that time? Oh, my voice. Oh, again. Okay. Extraordinary. Wrath. Death. Contamination. What is Doki Doki? Depression. Imagination. Melancholy. Unrequited. Despise. Atone. Disaster. Cry. Uncontrollable. Uncontrollable's not a big word, that's just a... Not a difficult word, it's just a big word. Eternity. Essence. Suicide. Lee. Misfortune. Graveyard. Secretive. Aw, man. I'm the last one here again. Don't worry, I just walked in too. Were you practicing piano again? Yeah. Uh-huh. You must have had a lot of determination starting this club and now picking up piano. Well, maybe not determination, but I guess passion. Remember the club that wouldn't be here if it weren't for all of you. I'm super happy that you're all willing to help out for the festival too. Ah, I can't wait for the festival. It's gonna be great. Eh? Weren't you complaining about it just yesterday, Natsuki? Well, yeah. I'm not talking about our part in the festival, but it's a whole day of school we get to go play and eat all kinds of delicious food. You sound a bit like Sayori all of a sudden. Monica, do they usually have fried squid? Squid? That's a pretty specific thing to look forward to. Oh, come on. Are you saying you don't like squid? You of all people? Hey, I didn't say I didn't like it. Besides, what do you mean by you of all people? 'Cause it's right in your name. Monica. Eh? That's not how you say my name at all. Also, the joke makes no sense in translation. That's meta. Ah, never mind. Let's just focus on our own event for now. Fine. Your reactions aren't as fun as Yuri or Sayori's anyway. Excuse me? Where is Sayori anyway? Oh, there you are. Sayori sitting at a desk in the corner of the room looking down at nothing. Walk over to her. Hi, Sayori. I wave my hand in front of her face. You're spacing out again. Oh, so sorry. Don't mind me. You can go talk to everyone else. Is everything alright? Of course. Why wouldn't it be? It just feels like you're a little off. Sorry for assuming things. Jeez, you worry too much about me. I'm fine, see? Sayori shows me a big smile. Don't let me distract you from having fun with everyone. Well, alright. Say so. I worriedly glanced at Sayori before turning back towards everyone else, but the conversation has already dispersed with everyone back at their usual activities. Maybe I should ask Monica if she's noticed anything about Sayori recently. Since they've been preparing for the festival, they must be spending a lot of time together. I timidly approached Monica, who was shuffling through some papers at her desk. Josh, what's up? Hey, this might sound a little strange, but you noticed anything up with Sayori recently? Anything up with her? In what way do you mean? Maybe I'm reading it a little too much, but she seems a bit downcast today. Oh, you think so? I can't say I've noticed anything about her. Monica peers across the room at Sayori, who is idly dragging a rubber eraser up and down her desk. Maybe there is something on her mind, but I'm surprised I'm not the one asking you, Josh. You certainly know a lot better than I do. Yeah, but she's never really like this. She's always talked to me about things that bothered her. But this time when I asked her, she was really dismissive. Sorry, I know it's not your problem. I just wanted to ask you if you knew anything, so I'll drop it now. No. It's important to me too. I mean, I'm also friends with her, and also care about the well-being of my club members, you know? Maybe I'll try to talk to her myself. Hey, are you sure about that? She seems like she wanted to be left alone. Are you sure? Maybe she just has a hard time bringing it up with the person of interest. Person of interest? What do you mean by that? I'm saying maybe the thing on her mind is you, Josh. Me? How on earth would you come to that conclusion? Well, I probably shouldn't say too much, but Sayori talks about you more than anything else, you know. She's been so much happier ever since you joined the club. It's like an extra light was turned on the side of her. What? No way. Sayori is always like that. She's always been full of sunshine. Not any different now than it has been. You're so funny, Josh. You thought maybe you've always seen her as so cheerful because that's just how she is when she's around you? I've said too much. I'm sorry. What do I know anyway? I didn't mean to jump to conclusions. You should just forget what I said. I'll try to talk to her so not to try to think about it for now. Alright. Monica smiles meaningfully. I know she said to forget about it, but I already know that I won't be able to get her words out of my head. Monica stands up from her desk and walks across the room to where Sayori is sitting. I watch her kneel down next to Sayori and gently talk to her. But she's keeping her voice so quiet that I can't hear her from here. I sigh and sit myself down. I know Sayori told me not to worry about her, and to have fun with everyone else. But that's impossible to do when she's behaving like this. Exactly how much do I care about her that I'm letting this weigh down so much? Now it feels like I'm the one behaving out of the ordinary. But there's nothing I can do besides wait for Monica. Why does this feel like I'm being watched? Glance around the room. Suddenly I notice Yuri peering at me from over her book, but she looks away just as quickly with a flustered look on her face. I realize that she won't get anywhere like this. I've never really seen Yuri approach anyone or start a conversation on her own accord, so I have no choice but to approach her myself. By now it's a little easier for me to do that. I stand up from my desk and sit in one next to her own. I didn't mean to bother you or anything. Relax, you didn't even do anything, but I could tell you wanted to be alone with your thoughts. Alone with my thoughts? How were you able to tell that? I was thinking just like that. Well, it's something that I do a lot, so it wasn't hard for me to spot based on your posture and expression. Not that I wasn't staring or anything. I didn't do anything creepy like that. In any case, I guess you were right. I'm sorry if I caused you any concern. Don't apologize. Your troubles are only the concern of those who willingly share in that concern. Of course, there are certainly those who find the most comfort in keeping to themselves. But if you would prefer to share what's on your mind, then I'd be glad to. It's not really that big of a deal. I was just feeling a bit uneasy about Sayori. Sayori? Yeah, she seems a little off today, but when I asked her about it, she didn't want to admit to me. So I can't help but wonder if something happened to her. It's quite romantic. Sorry, I didn't mean to say something so stupid. It's not just that, I just didn't want you to misunderstand. Sayori and I have just been friends for a long time, that's all. I see. Then perhaps it's unusual for her to be dismissive to you and her feelings. Or maybe I'm just reading into it a little too much. Josh, the whole world is full of meaning, often hidden deep beneath plain sight. And there are many untold mysteries behind every person, no matter how well you may know them. So, you think that there might be something behind it after all? I think that Sayori is a very complex person. Her mannerisms on the outside don't always match what may be going on inside her head. And she may not always know what she wants. I noticed her strange behavior today. Also noticed some concern for her. But in your case, it looked like she was fully occupying your thoughts, wasn't she? Well, I guess that was the case. Sayori, she really means a lot to you, doesn't she? I guess, but you don't need to put it that way. We're just good friends, that's all. Yuri suddenly looks deeply into my eyes. Her expression is gentle and curious, as if she was searching for something. Embarrassed, I averse my gaze. Sometimes, personal mysteries aren't told even to themselves. And you, as someone honest and caring, may uncover feelings you weren't aware of in you. That is, I think, she would be a very fortunate person to have you feel that way about her. You're giving me too much credit. I'm a pretty simple guy, so I think I'm pretty good at understanding my own feelings. Not necessarily as sophisticated as you. That's not a compliment, is it? It is what it is. Anyway, as long as we're here, why don't we do some reading? Well, as long as you're okay with it. Yeah, I should be taking my mind off this whole thing anyway. Oh, heck. Sometime passes, Monica calls out the club room. Why don't we share our poems now? Right now, everyone's back to normal. Everyone goes to retrieve their poems and I do the same. Make eye contact with Monica and she smiles at me. I wonder what she's talking about with Sayori. What's that, Gina? Yeah, I need... My throat is killing me off for reading for like an hour and a half. So I'm gonna finish this day in the game and then I'm gonna move on. Yeah. Josh, your writing has only improved in these last few days. Every poem you've shown me has nothing short of spectacular. I can really feel the emotions. I'm a little envious even. I don't think it ever came to me this naturally. Yuri, that's the wrong way to put it. This never did come naturally to me. But I've been able to improve so much thanks to you. You're really the example I was chasing after. Is that so? Yuri gently smiles to herself. This feeling. I'm so glad I got the chance to share my writing. I never thought it would feel like this. I remember you mentioning that yesterday. I can't believe you're so good at something and you've never even shared it with anyone. It's kind of a shame. Maybe, but it's not like I really had a choice. What do you mean? Well, Yuri smiles sadly. Josh, during lunchtime, I eat by myself. Did you know this? It's a great time to find a quiet spot and do some reading. In fact, I always have some books with me. I'd say I really enjoy reading. Well, that's one way to put it anyway, but books are so full of amazing and inspiring people. People you want to fall in love with, or people you just would make a really good friend. Cheerful people always put a smile on your face. Or deep thinkers and problem solvers who discover the mysteries of life. So when you look at it that way, I'm surrounded by friends every day, you know? And those friends don't laugh at me. They don't tease me for spacing out all the time. They don't make fun of my body type and they don't hate me for acting like a know-it-all. People say that about you? I'm not a know-it-all, Josh. I'm the opposite. I don't know anything. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to make people see me as normal. I don't even know how to make myself happy. I have all these feelings and all I can do with them is read and write. But it wasn't until now that I started sharing it with you, that I really understood what was missing all this time. But I haven't done anything. No? That's wrong. Just being patient and respectful, that's really important to me. I know I'm a difficult person, Josh. I speak too slowly, I second-guess myself all the time, I read too deeply into things, but every time, you've always treated me just like anyone else. It's so rare that I feel comfortable with myself when I talk to others, but that's why every time I talk to you, I just feel really happy. See, well, I treat you how you deserve to be treated, Yuri, and if other people don't see it that way, then screw them. I mean, I joined this club hoping I'd make friends, and I would say I've had at least one success, wouldn't you? If you put it that way. Yeah, we really are friends now, aren't we? Yuri puts her head in her hands. This time she's smiling as she does it. Do you want me to show you your poem? Yeah, I do. You get it for you. Ghost Under the Light Part 2. The tendrils of my hair illuminate the breath of the amber globe, bathing In the distance, a blue-green light flickers. A lone figure crosses its path, a silhouette obstructing the eerie glow. My heart pounds, the silhouette grows, closer, closer. I open my umbrella, casting a shadow to shield me from visibility, but I am too late. He steps into the streetlight, I gasp and I drop my umbrella. The light flickers, my heart pounds. He raises his arm, time stops. The only indication of movement is the amber light flickering against his outstretched arm. The flickering light is in its rhythm with the pounding of my heart, teasing me for succumbing to this forbidden emotion. Have you even heard of a ghost feeling warmth before? Giving up on understanding? I laugh. Understanding is overrated. I touch his hand, the flickering stops. Ghosts are blue-green, my heart is amber. Finishing the poem, I hand it back to Yuri. Instead of taking it from me, she looks away. Do you dislike it? No, of course not. I just don't really know how I should respond. Despite Yuri's poems usually being cryptic, it wasn't hard to figure out what this is about. I don't know if I'll be able to explain this one. That's fine. I understand this one. Yuri is having an even harder time speaking than usual. Does this one mean a lot to you? Yuri nods. I'm not really good with words, but I'm happy that you shared it with me. So thank you. And I hope we keep spending time together. Despite my inability to make eye contact, I see a faint smile emerge on Yuri's lips. I once again try to hand the poem back to her, but instead Yuri gently takes my hand, pushes them back towards me. I hesitate in response to her warm touch. The poem is... Once again, Yuri fails to form a complete sentence. You mean I can keep it? Yuri nods. I'd love to. Again, Yuri faintly smiles. If she doesn't want me to notice, you always make me feel nice. I know I'm not good with people, but I hope that I can return the favor sometimes. Yeah, don't worry. I think you do a good job. Yuri finally turns back towards me. I guess we should move on before Monica says something. But I'm sure we can talk again later. Yeah, I'm sure we will. With that, Yuri timidly smiles at me and I return to my seat so I can put her poem away. Yeah, no thanks. You didn't even... Next. That was quick. Hi Josh, have you thought along what you want to submit to perform at the festival? Well, being in this club is one thing, but performing in front of a bunch of people, I'll have to give it some more thought. Okay, no pressure. Whatever you do, I'm sure it'll turn out great. It would also make me happy to see. Anyway, let's take a look at today's poem. Sure. I'll let Monica take the poem I'm holding in my hands. Your style's gone so refined, Josh. Yuri's been teaching you a lot of things, hasn't she? Well, I guess so. That pink girl does not like me, no. Yeah, I've been reacting to how much you spend with her. I think I've heard her say more words these past couple days than she's talked in the whole year. Not sure how you did it. That's pretty impressive. Well, she just need... Monica and Yuri? They are performing they're performing their poetry at the school festival, and Monica, or Yuri and Natsuki didn't want to perform there, and it was kind of like awkward between Monica and Yuri. Still getting the hang of it myself. You're certainly putting a lot of effort. You really must like her. It's awfully suspicious, you know, spending time with her in the club room every day, reading the edgy novels with her. Well, I just feel bad that she has a hard time socializing. And I don't know if you saw the bit where I walked the other girl home, and now I said that I would walk Yuri home if she asked, and then she was awkward after that. It makes me want to know, to make sure she doesn't spend all of her time alone. Still nothing really. It's been like, I don't know how long I've been playing this, but it's been too long. Besides, the novel isn't too bad either, you know. Alright, I get you. Just be careful, alright? I know that Yuri isn't used to opening herself up. So if something bad happens while she's vulnerable, then it could really be hard for her. Her books aren't a total escape from reality. Just a bandage. You say that like I'm gonna hurt her. I'm sorry, I didn't really mean that. If anything, she might have actually hurt herself. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you right now, alright? Alright. The Lady Who Knows Everything. An old tale tells of a lady who wanders earth. The lady who knows everything. A beautiful lady who has found every answer, all meaning, all purpose, and all that was ever sought. Here I am. A feather. You know, I feel like learning and looking for answers are the sorts of things that give life meaning. Not to get too philosophical or anything, but it was kind of on my mind, so that's what I wrote about. See, never really put in much thought. In a way, it's almost paradoxical. Because if we had all the answers, wouldn't the world start to lose its meaning? You know, that's one thing I noticed. It seems like everyone in the club prefers writing about the things that are more sad than happy. Are you surprised? I mean, if everything was okay, we wouldn't really have anything to write about, would we? Humans aren't two-dimensional creatures. I think you know that better than anyone. I mean, one-dimensional? Yeah, that. Anyway, here's Monica writing tip of the day. Are you ever too shy to share your writing because you're afraid it's not that good? It can be really disheartening to get a lukewarm response to something you put so much into. But if you find other people who really enjoy writing, then sharing becomes a lot easier. Because instead of just telling you your writing is good or bad, good or okay or bad, they want to focus more on everything that went into it and the things that you can work on. It's so much more encouraging that way and will make you want to continue improving. It's almost like having your own literature club, don't you think? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Sayori. It's nice, I guess. Come on, I can already tell you didn't like it. Well, you don't need to worry about what I think. After all, you wrote this for someone else, didn't you? For Yuri. I didn't write this for anyone specifically. Maybe. It's not really what I meant, though. But it's okay. You're making new friends, just like I was hoping. Makes me really happy. Are you happy too, right? This club? Well, of course I am. Good. That's all that matters to me. Thank you, Josh. Sayuri, is there something wrong? Huh? No, nothing. I'm just a little tired today. Hee. Alright. Just tell me if you need anything. I will. Don't worry about me, okay? You can go play with everyone else now. You insist. Yay! I'm gonna go home a little bit early today. Sayuri? Tell Monica I wasn't feeling well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Before I can say anything else, Sayuri cheerfully walks out the classroom humming to herself. Okay, you three. We're all done sharing poems, right? Why don't we start figuring out... Hold on a second. Is it just me or did you say something strange just now? Something did sound a bit unusual. That's right. You deviated from your usual catchphrase when addressing the club. Catchphrase? I'd never catchphrase. Jeez. Why is the mood so weird today? Look, even Yuri isn't immune to it. Stagnating air is common, foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen. In your books, maybe. Look, the only thing different is that Sayori isn't here. Ah, seems you're right. Sayori always helps lighten the mood a little bit, doesn't she? It's almost like everyone's balance is thrown off a little when she's not around. Where the heck did she run off to anyway? No. I thought she just went to pee. Natsuki, please show some decency. Oh, come on. She actually wasn't feeling too well and went home early. Is that so? I hope she's alright. Seriously? Of all the times not to go home with her, you picked the time she's not feeling well? So much for you two being all lovey-dovey. No. First off, stop misunderstanding my friendship with Sayori. And second, she's kind of been avoiding me today, so I didn't want to force it. Who? That's a curious expression coming from Yuri of all people. Calm down, guys. I talked to her earlier and everything is fine. What did she say? Anyway, we need to figure out the rest of the festival preparations, so let's decide what everyone will be doing this weekend. I already know what I'm doing. That's right. Natsuki will be making cupcakes, but we might need a lot of them, and different flavors. Can you handle that all by yourself, Natsuki? And as for myself, I'm going to be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Sayori will be helping me design them. And for Yuri, you can, guys, can you help me come up with something for Yuri? I'm useless. No, that's not it at all. You're the most talented person here, you know? Now, Saki's pouting too. Jeez, even I can tell now. I guess I'll never give Sayori enough credit, but I can tell things are even harder on you when she's not around. That may be the case, but if I can also be a leader on my own, then I won't grow as a person. So Yuri, you have a big, beautiful handwriting, you know? So you should make some banners and decorations to help set the atmosphere. Atmosphere? About that. I love atmosphere. Yuri's expression suddenly changes as she stares into her desk and focuses and starts nodding to herself. Your mind is already racing, I see. That's great. You'll be a wonderful help, Yuri. But anyway, That just leaves you, Josh. The one who is truly useless. Ah, don't say that. In fact, both Natsuki and Yuri have pretty heavy tasks to handle. It would probably go a long way to give one of them a hand. You could always help me out as well. I would really be appreciative of that. Is Monica suggesting I spend the weekend with one of my club members? How on earth are going to respond to a suggestion like that? I suppose I wouldn't mind a bit of help. Well, even if you don't know how to bake, there's always some dirty work I could give you. It's not like Monica's going to give me a choice, and you shouldn't be sitting on your butt anyway. Natsuki tries to mumble a bunch of excuses like that. If I recall, Natsuki, you mentioned that you would like to handle the baking on your own. Josh may not like to be around if you only make him out to be a nuisance, so therefore, may be more suited to assisting with the decorations. Hold on, I never said that. How hard could it be to make a few decorations anyway? Sounds like more like you just make excuses for Josh to, well, what you saying? It'll be an extremely meticulous work, and baking isn't. Just what do you think? Guys, let's settle down for a moment. In the end, I think it's up for Josh to decide how he'd like to contribute. Besides, hasn't he already gotten the chance to spend any time with me yet, you know? Yeah, speak. So, I'm sure he's interested in. You literally just said, I'm surprised as well. Sorry. I was just saying though. Jeez, can we just settle this already? Yeah. Josh, you okay with this, right? In the end, it's up to you. Of course. Very well. In that case, everyone look straight at me. Oh my god. That's Sayori. Are you serious? Why would you? Natsuki. I can already tell you're about to say something mean. No, I was just saying, so you'll be helping Yuri then, Josh? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm glad. I have a bad habit of overthinking these sorts of things. So I think your assistance will be very useful. That's great to hear. Natsuki, will you be able to handle the baking yourself? I mean, yeah? I already said it would be fine. Okay. Everyone can tell that Natsuki is feeling a little sour. So, is that everything we need to go over? Yeah, that should be about it. Are you guys excited? Well, excited may not be the right word, but I suppose I'm looking forward to it a little bit. Do you feel the same way, Josh? Me? I guess you could say I'm interested in to see how it turns out. That's good enough for me. What about you, Natsuki? Natsuki? What? Why is everyone yelling at me? I didn't even do anything. No? That's just not what I meant at all. Yuri anxiously glances between everyone in the room. I'm sorry for doing this. I don't really know why Josh picked me. And also, your cupcakes are the best cupcakes I've ever had. They really go well with my tea. Natsuki, don't give a fuck. And doing that, I do for the event will compare, so, I get it. Kind of surprised though. Why? Well, I'm the one acting immature. I already know that. But you're trying to cheer me up all of a sudden. I know I'm not very good at it. I'm sorry if I said something bad. Natsuki isn't the only one surprised. Monica and I are also taken aback by Yuri's words. When she already has trouble with words, trying to cheer someone up must be far out of her own comfort zone. But I begin to understand. Yuri was trying to sound like Sayori. Even if it didn't work perfectly, I can tell that she tried to say something Sayori would say at the time like this. Because Sayori has always helped everyone smile and feel good about themselves. No, I kind of appreciated it. I'm sorry for making a big deal out of nothing. But I'm going to say this. You better bet that cupcakes are going to be the best part of the whole event. I believe you. Yeah. I hope to see everyone do their best. But with that, there's nothing more for today. I guess it's time for us to head out. Alright, let's get out of here then. Everyone packs up their things. I start to follow Monica and Alex out the door as they chat between each other. Eh? Turn around. Sorry. I realize I don't have any way of contacting you this weekend. Oh, you're right. I can't believe that slipped my mind. Should I give you my phone number? I think that would be the best way, yes. Alright then. You and I exchange phone numbers. Okay. Then I'll be stopping at your house on Sunday. Eh? My house? Is that a problem? No, not at all. I just thought that I'd be the one going to your house since I'm the one helping you. I suppose that makes sense. But if you don't mind, I think I'd prefer going to your house. Alright. In that case, it wouldn't be a problem. I decided not to press Yuri for a reason. It's not like it should matter either way, so I'll just need to make sure my room is clean. I hope I managed to make myself useful in some way. Not nearly as creative as you are. Don't underestimate yourself, Josh. I think that will make a very productive team. Even if you only choose me because you felt bad or something. Wait, you don't actually think that, do you? I don't know. It's difficult to come up with other reason you may have chosen me. You're forgetting the one reason with the most common sense. I choose to help you because that's what I want to do. But Yuri thinks to herself with an extremely tense expression. Yuri, you're overthinking this. You wanted me to point out what you're overthinking, right? Eh? I didn't realize. I'm telling you I want to. That's all there is to it. Do you believe me? Yuri thinks really hard again. She looks straight into my eyes for a long while. I believe you. As if I took her tremendous effort, Yuri finally says that and relaxes her expression. And I'm really looking forward to Sunday. Yeah, I am too. After that exchange, I make my way out the door and Yuri follows. I can't believe this. Yuri's going to come to my house on Sunday. My anxiety shoots through the roof. Even though I've got pretty used to handling her at this point, there's no telling what might end up happening when we're outside of school. More than that, she told me she was looking forward to it. This is the chance I have to make something happen between us? Or is it too early for that? Only time will tell. But until then, I won't be able to take my mind off of it. I seriously can't wait. It's already Sunday. Getting increasingly anxious, Yuri's coming to visit. I keep telling myself there's no reason to be nervous doesn't help. Yuri is clearly an introvert and also an intimate person in general. There's no doubt she'll open up a bit when it's just the two of us. Meanwhile, we've been texting occasionally. She was already apprehensive at first, but it wasn't long before I was already learning more about her. But putting Yuri aside, I haven't heard a thing about Sayori since she left the club early the other day. Oh my. Words are failing me. It's not like we text each other all the time or anything, but I've been worried about her in the back of my mind. Between what Sayori said and Monica said, it's really okay for me to put Sayori's feeling aside when she might need me? Decide to visit Sayori before Yuki comes over. Rather than asking, I simply tell her I'm coming over, much like we've done in the past. Once I reach Sayori's house, I knock on the door before entering it myself. Again, we used to play so often that we made a habit of simply entering each other's houses like we were family. The house is quiet. Sayori isn't anywhere on the first floor, so I assume she's up in her room. It's already strange of her not to run down and greet me. I head up to her bedroom where I finally find her. Sayori? Hi, Josh. I sit down in her room. Sayori forces a smile, but it's easy to tell she's different. There's a minute of silence between us. You haven't come over like this in a long time, have you? I guess you're right. It has been a long time. Not much has really changed, has it? Sayori's room is as messy as it's always been. I also recognize the same stuffed animals and wall decorations that she's had for years now. If you came over more often, it wouldn't be such a mess. That's because I can end up cleaning it for you. How come you suddenly wanted to come over today? Aren't you supposed to see Yuri today? Yeah, but... Wait, how did you know that? Sayori had already left by the time we decided that last meeting. Monica told me. It's only natural for her to keep me informed about the festival preparations, right? That's true. But what about you? Aren't you going to be helping Monica today? Of course, but I'm just helping her online. We didn't plan to meet up or anything. So it's just me and Yuri then. Yep. There's more silence between us. Sayori stares into a random direction. Everything about her behavior is really uncharacteristic. I finally get to the point. I just wanted to see how you were doing. After you left on Friday. When something's wrong, you can't hide it from me. I know you too well, so... Sayori smiles, shaking her head. That's no good, Josh, eh? Why couldn't it just be like it's always been? This is all my fault. If I didn't get so weak and accidentally express my feelings, if I didn't make those stupid mistakes, then you wouldn't be worried about me at all. You wouldn't have come here. You wouldn't have ever been thinking about me right now. But this is just my punishment, isn't it? I'm getting punished for being so selfish. That's why the world decided to have you come over today. It just wants to torture me. Sayori. I grab Sayori by the shoulders. What on earth are you saying? Are you listening to yourself right now? I know something happened to you. There's no other explanation for you to be like this. So tell me already. Until I know, I won't be able to stop thinking about it. Aha. Sayori gives me an empty smile. You really put me in a trap, Josh. But you're wrong. Nothing happened to me. I've always been like this. You're just seeing it for the first time. Seeing what? What are you talking about, Sayori? You're really just gonna make me say it, aren't you, Josh? I guess I have no choice this time. The thing is, I've had really bad depression my whole life. Did you know that? Why did you think I'm late to school every day? Because most days, I can't even find a reason to get out of bed. What reason is there to do anything when I fully know how worthless I am? Why go to school? Why eat? Why make friends? Why make other people put their energy into caring and to waste by having them spend it on me? That's what it feels like. And that's why I just want to make everyone happy, without anyone worrying about me. I'm in shock. I can't even figure out how to respond. How is it possible that Sayori kept this from me this entire time that I've known her? Does she really want so badly for me just to not think about her? Why, Sayori? Eh? Why is it that you never tell me about this? It almost feels like I've been betrayed as your close friend. Because if I knew, I would have done everything I could to support you. Even if there's only so much that I could do. I would have tried a little bit harder to make every day a little better for you. That's why I'm your friend. All you had to do was tell me. You don't understand at all, Josh. Why do you think I didn't tell you? Because if I told you, then you would have had to waste effort caring about me instead of doing important things. I don't want to be cared about. It's bittersweet when people try to care about me. It feels nice sometimes, but also feels like a bat being swung against my head. Aha! That's why I wanted so badly for you to make friends with everyone else. Helping everyone be happy together is the best thing for me. But then I discovered something else, too. Seeing you make friends and get closer with everyone in the club feels like a spear going through my heart. So that's why I decided that the world just wants to torture me. Every path leads to nothing but hurt. Aha. You're right, that I didn't understand. I don't understand your feelings at all, Sayori. But I don't need to understand. Whatever it takes for me to help you stop hurting, that's what I'll do. No, Josh, there's nothing. Nothing at all. The only thing that could have helped is if everything could be like it always was. But I was selfish. I finally showed you what a horrible person I am. Tears streaked down Sayori's face. I made you join the literature club because I was selfish and I was punished by my heart hurting in a way that I couldn't understand. And now you came here and I made you hurt too. I'm just weak and selfish. That's all I am. And that's why I'm going to accept these punishments, because I deserve every last one. Without thinking, I once again grab Sayori's shoulders. This time I pull her into a tight embrace. Josh. Sayori. I don't care if you feel selfish. I'm really happy that you convinced me to join the club. Seeing you every day makes it worthwhile enough. If I make friends with everyone else, then that's just a bonus. But please, never underestimate how much I care about you. I wouldn't have it any other way. Josh. Sayori isn't hugging me back. Despite my arms being wrapped around her, Sayori's arm remained at her sides. She starts sobbing next to my ear. No. Don't do this to me. Please don't do this. Josh. Sayori barely manages to speak between her sobs. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, but all I want is for her to know that I care. If you have it in you to call yourself selfish, then you have to let me be selfish too. No matter what it takes, I'll figure out what needs to change. I'll make those feelings go away. And if there's anything that you need me to do, then you better tell me. I'll get mad if you don't. I don't know. Gently, Sayori finally puts her arms around me in return. I don't know anything. It's all really scary. I don't understand all my feelings, Josh. The only time I'm not feeling nothing is when I'm feeling pain, but your hugs are so warm, and that's really scary too. Sayori lets me go. As she does so, I let her go as well. The festival is tomorrow. Yeah. It's gonna be fun, right? Yeah. How would you like for me to spend it with you? It's what I want. I promise. I think that would be nice then. Yeah. Sayori wipes her eyes. If I could spend the whole day here, I would. Of all days, this is to be the one where I have other plans. Maybe I should have canceled. No, don't. Please don't. If you did that, then I really wouldn't forgive you. But it's almost time for Yuri to meet at my house. At the very least, do you want to come along and help out? It would be fun. To my surprise, Yuri shakes her head. I'm sorry. I don't know if that would be good for me today. You understand, right? It's kind of hard for me to fully understand, but I'm trying my hardest. It's okay. Don't worry about me too much. So I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Alright. I look forward to it. I say goodbye to Sayori and exit her house. On the way home, I find myself still feeling uneasy, but it's hard for me to keep thinking about it when Yuri is about to come over too. I think Sayori is right. I shouldn't be worrying too much, and we're definitely going to have a great time tomorrow. I should just focus on what's ahead of me. As I approach my house, I see something that makes me feel a moment of panic. Yuri? Thank goodness. You're a little early. I'm sorry, I wasn't home yet. Were you waiting for a long time? No, I just got here. But I started to get really nervous when nobody answered the doorbell. You always could have texted me. If I had known, I would have reassured you and hurried more on my way home. Ah, I suppose that's true. I didn't think of that for some reason. It should be common sense to do that, but I decided to ignore it. Anyway, let's go inside. I see you brought a lot of stuff with you. That's right. And did you manage to find everything I asked you to buy as well? Yeah, pretty much. At least, I hope I got everything right. I'm sure it'll be fine. I take Yuri to my room. The first thing she does is glance around curiously, which makes me feel anxious. It's so clean. Uh-huh. I cleaned it before you came over, so that's very considerate of you to do. Ah, no. I would have been really embarrassed for my room to be a mess while you were here. Well, I do enjoy cleaning. I would have gladly helped you clean. Ah, that would have been even more embarrassing. Wait, don't look in there. I snatched Yuri's wrist, which was in the process of opening a desk drawer of mine. Ah, I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking for some reason. I was just spacing out. It's fine, it's fine. I let go of Yuri's wrist. She puts both of her hands firmly in her lap as if making sure she's keeping track of them. So, should we get started? Yes. I have a few things planned that you could help with. Decorations and other atmospheric enhancements. Atmospheric enhancements? You know. Mood lighting, aromatherapy candles. Oh wow. I didn't know you planned on taking it that far. Of course. I wanted to help take our guests to a faraway place. Although many will stop by just out of curiosity. And for cupcakes, I guess. I'm determined to provide an experience that will leave them wanting more. That's great. It's so easy to forget that you're a pretty intense person. Intense? I guess that's the best way to put it. Is that a bad thing? No, not at all. It's just something that I like about you, actually. Is that so? That makes me feel relieved. I'm kinda happy. Yeah, no need to be so anxious. You can relax a little. Relax? I brought some things for relaxation. I was gonna use them during the poetry event. Oh yeah? Like what? Let's see. Yuri rummages through her bag. She pulls out a few candles and a wooden cylinder-shaped object. I did some shopping on the way here, so I happen to have these in my bag. I plan to cover the windows in black paper and use the candles to light the room. I think it would be amazing, don't you? Yeah, that would be really neat. What's the wooden thing, though? Oh, this? That's a diffuser for essential oils. How familiar are you with aromatherapy? Not familiar at all. Ah, is that so? It's one of my favorite contributors to a positive atmosphere. Depending on the oils or herbs you choose, you can change the mood of the air itself. You can even feel it permeate through your body. Relaxation, positive energy, romance, reflection. It's almost like magic. Yuri takes the cylinder and pushes a switch on the bottom. In just a moment, a thin ray of vapor begins to spout through a small hole on top. Wow, that smells wonderful. What kind of mood is that for? It's a jasmine essential oil. It smells a little sweet and flowery, right? Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. I chose jasmine for the event because it provides more than relaxation. Jasmine enhances your emotions and helps you feel them flow through your body. You feel warmer and your heart pounds more heavily. Don't you think it would be perfect for sharing our poems? Does sound suitable. But you seem to know a lot about this, so I'll trust your opinion with anything. Yuri smiles gently, clearly enjoying herself. She again reaches into her bag and pulls out several spools of thin ribbon. What are those for? Well, did you purchase the origami paper I asked you to get? Yeah, I have it over here. We wouldn't be using the paper for folding origami. What I'd like to do is write a different word on each paper. We'll need about 100 of them. Oh yeah? What will those be used for? Well, I'm going to cut pieces of ribbon to hang from the doorway of the classroom. Then we can fasten the paper onto the ribbons to create a doorway curtain. It would also catch the eye of those passing by the room. It may attract some to peek inside. That's really creative. I had no idea you'd be so good at this, Yuri. Is that so? Well, I suppose I do get a little intense, as you put it. Who? Yuri giggles with red cheeks. Is it just me, or is she more relaxed when it's just the two of us? Or maybe it's the excitement she feels from sharing something that she enjoys. It's a marker, Josh. You can write any characters you want. I'll help you once I finish cutting the ribbons. Oh, alright. Sitting on the floor together, the two of us get to work. I carefully draw a character on each paper, doing my best to manage my bad handwriting. Yuri unravels a long strand of red ribbon to her desired length. She then reaches into her bag once more and pulls out a pocket knife. Eh? The knife is strangely beautiful. The silver handle and has an intricate pattern of waves etched into it. The blade itself is gently tinted blue. That's no ordinary pocket knife. It looks real fancy. Well... Embarrassed, Yuki looks away. What is it? You're gonna think it's weird. Yuri, whatever it is, I have no reason to judge. To each their own, you know. If you promise you won't be weirded out. Yeah, I promise. Alright. The thing is, I'm kinda into knives. They're just... so pretty. I can't help it. I don't know what it is. The combination of craftsmanship and feeling of danger, maybe? Ooh, what am I saying? Please don't think I'm weird for this. You're laughing at me. No, I'm not laughing at you. It's just funny how nervous you get about sharing. It's, well, an interesting thing to be into, I guess. But I think it kinda suits you. Suits me? Yeah, it's just kinda intense. Besides, it's a really cool looking knife. I can't deny that. It is, isn't it? Yuri relaxes her expression once again. Would you like to hold it? Sure, I'll check it out. Yuri carefully hands me the knife with the handle facing me. I take and turn around into my hands. It feels heavy and extremely solid. Where do you even get a knife like this? Curious of its sharpness, I feel the point of the knife with my index finger. Ow! Josh! Why did you do that? I didn't expect it to be that sharp. I barely touched it at all. It's my fault. I shouldn't have warned you. This knife is extremely sharp. It can cut through skin like it's paper. Oh no. A small drop of blood trickles down the side of my finger. Yuri takes my hand and gives the wound a closer look. She stares at it and noticeably fidgets. If you're squeamish, I'll go wash it off now. Without warning, Yuki puts my finger in her mouth and licks the wound. I feel her tongue curl around my finger. Startled, I instinctively pull my hand back. Oh? Please forgive me. I wasn't thinking. Yuri lowers her head, and my face burning up. Yuri, that's the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. How could I do something like that? I'm sorry. Sure, it was a little weird and took me by surprise, but I guess she was just trying to help, right? Yuri, I think you're overacting a little. She doesn't lift her head. What if she doesn't recover from this for the rest of the afternoon? Alright, you know what? This might be a stupid thing to do, but I'll do it anyway. I take Yuri's hand and lick her index finger in return. Josh, did you really do that? And now we're even. Yuri looks at me like I did something wrong. I knew that would be a bad idea. If not for the sweet aroma of jasmine oil, the air would be extremely heavy now. You're so weird, Josh. Yuri giggles shyly. Eh? You're calling me weird? I have no response to that. Where did you keep the bandages? I don't think I need one, actually. It was a tiny cut. Look, it already stopped bleeding. I see. That's relieving. The tension is quickly lifted. We each resume our respective activities, on which Yuri's knife cut through ribbon like something but air. Meanwhile, I continue to make progress on the paper. After we finish attaching the paper to the ribbons, we lay them all out side by side. It looks better than I expected and will be very effective as a door curtain. It looks great. Good thinking coming up with this, Yuri. Oh, thanks. It's just something I saw online, really. Are you ready to move on to the next task? Yeah, let's do it. What do you have in mind? I'd like to create a banner. That's why I asked you to buy the paint tablets. Ah, that's right. One of the items Yuri had asked me to buy was a kit of watercolor paint tablets. We'll need about 6 cups of water to put each of the tablets in. Do you mind fetching those for us? Of course not. 6 cups of water. I'll be right back in a minute. Thank you very much. Oh, and just a little bit of water is okay. If you fill the cups too much, it'll be too diluted. Taking Yuri's advice, I decide to use small plastic bathroom cups rather than full-size glasses. I put them on a plate to catch any paint that drips, then bring it back into my room. Yuri? Yes? I come in to see Yuri quickly unrolling her sleeve, putting it back over her arm. Ah, nothing. Your face is a little red. It's too hot in here. Or something. No, not at all. There's nothing wrong, so let's mix the paint. Yuri hurriedly dismisses me and takes it upon herself to unwrap the tablets, dropping them into the cups. So, I thought we would do something simple that would look very nice. I'd like to paint a gradient across the banner, starting with the colors of a sunrise, then daytime, then sunset, and nighttime. Once it dries, I'll write an inspirational quote across the banner. We can hang it on the wall behind the podium in front of the classroom. Ah, neat. What are you going to write? Well, it'll be more fun to surprise you. Yuri smiles at me. If you say so. After rolling out the banner, Yuri and I kneel on opposite sides. We don't get in the way of each other. Yuri uses a brush and adds a few dots of different color across the banner to serve as a color guide when we paint. This kind of reminds me of elementary school. Painting on a banner in watercolors feels a lot like the art class projects we had back then. It's relaxing. I'm sorry if this feels too childish. No, I didn't mean that at all. It's kind of fun, you know? Yeah, it is fun. I'm glad you feel that way too. Yuri stops painting for a moment, thinking to herself. For me, I don't need to go out and do crazy things to have fun. In fact, I usually don't even want to. I just like it when I can spend time with one other person. Even if it's just something simple like reading, it doesn't even matter if we don't talk too much. Just having a friend next to me makes things a little bit nicer. I think that's all it takes for me to be happy. Is that so? Even if Yuri and I are quite different, I can understand where she's coming from. I feel that way about things like anime and games, where simply sharing the experience with someone can make me happy. I think I feel the same way. Yuri smiles gently. I knew you'd understand. Yuri leans over the banner to grab an unused paintbrush, but I move at the same time, causing my head to bump into hers. Yeah. So sorry. Yuri reels back and I quickly lift my hands in surprise. Are you hurt? No, I'm not hurt. It just startled me, that's all. Sorry, I should have asked you to get it for me. It's not your fault. Ah, your face. There are droplets of paint on Yuri's face and neck. Is there something on my face? Yeah, I accidentally got paint on you. Sorry, it's totally my fault. I'll get a towel right away. I rush out and fetch a small towel, then I dampen it with hot water. I return to my room and kneel back down in front of her. Here. I pat down Yuri's face and neck with the towel. Ah, is there something wrong? It's hot, I just didn't expect it. Sorry. I didn't want to use cold water. Having finished, I start to retract my hand, but Yuri suddenly holds my wrist. Wait. Eh? Just for a little longer. It feels really nice. Ah, I keep my hand still against Yuri's neck. She looks into my eyes. It's an intense expression that I recognize from when she reads her books. Almost as if she's lost in a daze, enveloped by her own thoughts. She breathes gently, half through the slightly parted lips. What is happening? Is the aroma of the jasmine oil giving me this dizzy feeling? Yuri's gentle fingers wrapped around my wrist, sending tingling sensation through my arm. And suddenly, her face seems to be much closer to mine than it was just a moment ago. Yuri slowly pulls away. Sorry. I've been feeling a little lightheaded today. I didn't mean to space out. It's fine. The moment is over as soon as it began. Yuri picks up her brush again, but her movements seem clumsier, like she's unable to focus. I remain silent, forced to ignore the event that just transpired. I hesitantly retrieve my own brush and continue following Yuri's example. That should do it. I finish filling the night sky with white dots to look like stars. Look at the banner as a whole, it's very pretty and natural looking. I think it came out better than I expected. I'm really happy with the results. Yeah, me too. Are you gonna add the lettering now? Not yet. It needs to dry first. That's true. But won't that take a while? Well, perhaps it would be best to leave it here, then have you bring it in the morning. I can do the lettering in the classroom before our event starts. Is that okay? That's totally fine. Wonderful. In that case, I don't think there's anything more for us to do here. Phew. Ahaha. You say that like you're glad it's over. I was wrong to assume that you were at least enjoying yourself a little bit? Ah, no, it's not that. I'm just glad we managed to get everything done. I see. I am too. I was a little concerned about time. I need to start making dinner soon. Ah, so you don't have any time left? I was secretly hoping we would have extra time after finishing the work. Well, Yuri thinks to herself, I think it would be too irresponsible for me to wait much longer. I'm sorry. I was hoping there would be more time as well. It's probably my fault. Sorry for being such a slow worker. No, it's not your fault at all. And the important thing is we got everything done, right? Yeah. So, I shouldn't be disappointed or anything. Gathering all her things, Yuri seems to look a little downcast. I understand why. It sounded like she really gets the opportunity to spend time with friends in a relaxed environment. But that doesn't mean this is the last time it can happen. Once Yuri packs up, I'll walk out of her front door. Thank you very much for having me today. No problem. I'm glad I was able to help. Let me know if there's anything else you need me to bring tomorrow. I will. Well then. Yuri fidgets. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Wait. I kinda say that without thinking. About today. It's fine that we didn't have as much time as we wanted. Because we can do this again. Whenever you want, you can come over. We can go out somewhere. Ah, I forgot you didn't like going out much. As I stumble over my words, Yuri simply smiles bashfully. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, so... You're very thoughtful, Josh. Yuri takes a step closer to me, then briefly squeezes my hand. Kinda like that about you. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? I don't even get a chance to as Yuri suddenly pulls back. Sayori? Eh? Ah, hi Josh. Sayori. Just now we weren't... It's okay, Josh. I just stopped by to say hi. Well, it's nice to see you. I'm sorry, but I'm already on my way to leave. Oh, really? It's too bad. I'm sorry. But we'll all be together at the festival tomorrow, so that's fine, right? Of course. Sayori beams. Yeah, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Clearly embarrassed, Yuri hurries off. Sayori waves goodbye after her. Sayori, I thought you didn't want to come over today. Ah, well, I tried staying in my room, but my imagination was being really mean to me. So I had to come over here to see it for myself. See what? What are you talking about? You know, how much fun you were having with Yuri? And how close you got to her? It makes me really happy that you made such good friends. That's all that matters to me. Tears start to fall down Sayori's face. That's all that matters to me. Why am I feeling this way, Josh? I'm supposed to be happy for you. Why does it feel like my heart is splitting in half? Hurts so much. Everything hurts so much. This would be so much better if I could just disappear. Sayori, don't say that. It's true, Josh. If I weren't here, then you wouldn't have to waste your sympathy on me. You wouldn't have to put up with me being selfish. Monica was right. I should just... Monica? Monica was right about what? Sayori. What I said before is true. I'm not going to let this continue. Caring about you isn't like the burden your mind is making it out to be. It's something that makes me happy. It's something that I wouldn't trade for anything else. So even if it takes an entire lifetime, I'm going to be by your side until you don't feel any more pain. But... Sayori looks away. I put a hand on her shoulder to reassure her. I'm scared, Josh. I'm really scared. What are you scared of, Sayori? I'm scared that I might like you more than you like me. Sayori. It's true, isn't it? I was weak and started to like you too much. I did this to myself. Josh? I like you so much that I want to die. That's how I feel. And that's enough, Sayori. I don't want you to hurt anymore. Slide my hand down Sayori's arm and squeeze her hand in my own. Do you remember how I always said what's best for you? Do you still believe me? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Even if you don't understand all of your own feelings, I know what you need the most right now, and that's what I'm going to give you. Oh my lord. Fuck it. I love you. Eh? Those are my true feelings, so there's no way you could like me more than I like you. Should have realized it sooner, but spending time with everyone at the club, making new friends and having fun with you every day, it helped me realize that you're truly the most important to me. That's why I'll accept any of your burdens. As long as we continue like this every day with you by my side, then I know we'll be happy. Josh. Suddenly Sayori wraps her arms tightly around me. Josh, is this really okay? Yeah. Held Sayori in my arms, pull her closer. You'll never let go of me again. I love you, Josh. I want to be with you forever. Me too. I feel Sayori's grip around me weaken a little bit. What is this? Sayori? I'm supposed to be happy right now. I always thought this would be the happiest moment for me, but why? Even now, why wouldn't the rain clouds go away? They're not going away at all, Josh. It's okay, Sayori. It might take some time for things to get better again. No matter how long it takes, I'll be there every step of the way. That's all that matters right now, okay? I trust you. Sayori and I slowly release each other. So, I guess that makes the festival tomorrow our first date, huh? I want everything the same as it's always been. Even if we really are a couple, I don't know if I could handle anything more right now. It's really new and scary to me. I understand. We'll go at whatever pace suits you best. Hey, Josh? Sayori gazes at me once again, smiling sad. Even if I get really, really sad, this is the best thing for me, right? I don't really understand what Sayori means by that. Are you saying this is making you feel sad? I don't know. I don't understand what I'm feeling. It felt like a bunch of thorns when you told me you loved me. That's why I want to trust you. You know what's best for me. Yeah, I do. That's my promise. I say that in reality I've never felt more uncertain when it comes to Sayori. I know that I love her and she loves me, but I'm having as much trouble understanding Sayori's feeling as she is. Even though I can comfort her, I keep wondering if I should be doing something more or something different. I know these thoughts will continue to plague me until things are back to the way they were. Is that what Sayori meant by not wanting to change? I don't know. But I'll know that I'll give everything I've got. Sayori is the most important person to me, and I'll do whatever it takes to have a happy future with her. It's the day of the festival. Of all days, I expected this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori, but Sayori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but decided that's a little too much. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. The banner Yuri and I painted is dry, and I gently roll it up to take with me. She sent me a pleasant text reminding me not to forget anything. I reassured her. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited to be over so I can spend time with Sayori and Yuri at the festival. But knowing Monica, the event will be great too. Josh, you're the first one here. Thanks for being early. That's funny, I thought Yuri would be here by now. Monica is placing little booklets out of each of the desks in the classroom. It must be the one she prepared to have all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monica would like and submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again, that dummy. You'd think that on days this important she'd try a little harder. I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday, and I suddenly feel awful knowing it's not really that simple for her. I only said it because of the way I'm used to thinking, but maybe I should have gone and wake her up after all. You should take a little responsibility for her, Josh. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know. Exchange? Monica, you know about that? Of course I do. I'm the club president after all, but I stammer embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell her about it that quickly? That we're a couple now? I didn't really plan on bringing it up with anyone yet. Jeez, you don't know the full story at all, so don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you do. Hey? Monica is being as friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a chill down my spine after hearing that. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets laid out on the desks. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club a bit more seriously. Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognized Nasuri and Yuki's poems from the ones they performed during our practice. What's this? I flipped to Sayori's poem. It's different from the one she practiced. It's the one I haven't read before. Percentage. Get out of my head, 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 get out of my head. Jesus. What is this? Reading the poem, I get pain in my stomach. Josh, what's wrong? Nothing. This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori's written. But more than that, I changed my mind. I'm gonna go get Sayori, so, well, alright. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. Don't strain yourself. Monica calls out after me. I quicken my pace. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her, or at least wake her up. Even the simple gesture of walking to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they always have been. It's all she needs, and it's all I want to give her. I reach out to Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer since she's not picking up her phone either. Like yesterday, I opened the door and let myself in. Sayori? She really is a heavy sleeper. Swallow. Can't believe I ended up doing this after all, waking her up in her own house. That really is something a boyfriend would do, isn't it? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori? Wake up, dummy. There's no response. I didn't want to have her enter a room like this. It's kind of a breach of privacy. But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. Oh, fuck. Aw. Okay, well, we're getting getting somewhere with this. Exception has occurred. File game script. What the hell? What the hell? Is this a nightmare? It has to be. This isn't real. There's no way this can be real. Sorry I wouldn't do this. Everything was normal up until a few days ago. That's why I can't believe what my eyes are showing me. Oh, this music. I suppressed the urge to vomit. Just yesterday, I told Sayori I would be there for her. I told her I know what's best and everything will be okay. Then why? Why would she do this? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong? Confessing to her? I shouldn't have confessed to her. That's not what Sayori needed at all. She even told me how painful it was for others to care about her. Then why did I confess to her and make her feel even worse? Why was I so selfish? This is my fault. My swarming thoughts kept telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. I just spent more time with her, walked her to school, and remained friends with her like it's always been. Then, I could have prevented this. I know I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club. Screw the festival. I just lost my best friend, someone I grew up with. She's gone forever now. Nothing I can do to bring her back. This isn't some game where I can reset and try something different. I only had one chance and I wasn't careful enough. And now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers. But I still couldn't do what she needed from me, and now I can never take it back. Never. 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 That's it? Huh. Terrifying. However, I just signed the crossword and like catch up. Huh. Okay. I always tell myself about time to meet some girls or something like that, but I have no motivation to join any clubs. And the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there'd be any girls in it anyway. School day is ordinary over. It's over before I know it. After I pack up things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. We don't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Josh? Monica? Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect you here. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other well. We rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So, having her smile at me genuinely feels a little... What do you come in for, anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closets. You're in the debate club, right? I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about budget and publicity to show, and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. In that case, what club do you decide to join? Actually, starting a new one. A literature club. Literature? That sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing, but there's only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to bring new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's really not boring at all, you know? Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members can even keeps her manga collection in the classroom. Really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member is a member, right? Monica say she? Hey Josh, by any chance you still looking for a club to join? I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at the very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please? Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I could check it out. Ah, awesome. You're really sweet, Josh, you know that? It's nothing really. Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials around another time. They're more important. It's all a song for Irresistible Smile. Tell me follow Monica across the school and upstairs a section of the grass school I really visit, being generally used to the third-year classes and activities. Monica, full of energy, swings the classroom door. I'm back and I brought a guest with me. Guest? Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean. But anyway, welcome to our club, Josh. All words escape me in this situation. The club is full of incredibly cute girls. Let me guess, you're Monica's boyfriend, right? No, I'm not. Natsuki, the girl in the sour attitude whose name is apparently Natsuki, is the one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. This is Yuri, the vice president. Nice to meet you. I already went through this. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard to find these two. Yuri returns to the table. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us, setting down a teapot in the middle. Keep a whole tea set in the classroom? Don't worry, teachers give us permission. After all, a hot cup of tea doesn't go good. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not. Insolid, Yuri looks away. I mean that, you know, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri smiles to herself in relief. So Josh, what kind of things do you like to read? Considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I might have quietly myself half joking. Perks up, she looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but obvious by the way her eyes light up, she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep, complex, and amazing erotic and This is just the same as the beginning of the game, just without the other girl. She's the vice president now. Now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Josh? Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we've reached the most important topic, I bluntly came forth with what's been in my mind this entire time. I never said I would join this club. Monica may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and lose my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. Sorry, I thought. Hey. Girls exchange glances before Monica turns to me. I guess I could tell you the truth, Josh. The thing is, we don't have enough members just to form an official club. We need 4, and I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. If we don't find one more before the festival, defenses against these girls, how am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I feel terrible for letting everyone down in the situation, and besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed, so if writing poems is the price you need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls... Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes lighten up. You mean that, Josh? Yeah. It could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just felt left out, I'd be super pissed. So happy. You can become an official club today. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay, I guess? Okay, everyone, I think it's time we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment, write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Josh, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. Guess I'll be on my way then. Okay, see you tomorrow then. Can't wait. We've unlocked a special poem. Today I cut the skin open for the first time. It was exhilarating. I think I understand how it feels. Fuck. Death. Grief. Oh, shit. Might feel strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Back at the Literature Club, the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Josh. Hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh. Huh. Stands in front of the text that time. I picked a book that you thought might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. Right? I wanted to reread some of it, not for any particular reason. Just curious how come you have two copies of the same book. Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, just happened about two of them. Something fairly obvious your ears are telling me. Definitely start reading it soon. Glad to hear. One starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. Very engaging and relatable stories. That's a story about anyway. Well, look at this cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. It's an ominous-looking eye symbol in the front cover. Basically, it's this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. Damn. Say what you want, that is creepy. Ooh. But because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway, then suddenly... Oh, shit, let's get through that. Oh. What are you saying? Let me get the book. Quickly retrieve the book from my bag. Thanks to Yuri. Sure, you seem a little apprehensive. Sorry, it's not what I meant. You will just tell me if I end up distracting you. Alright, we can start the prologue. I was just bathing. Oh, shit. I think she's a demon or something. That's what you were talking about? Sorry, I thought you meant something about her, something else. Never mind. Didn't even get that far yet, so I don't know why that came into my head. Are you feeling alright? She's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can resist. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... Breathing? Yuri puts her hands on her chest to feel her heartbeat. You even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Okay. Oh, Lord. Harsh, what do you expect me to believe? That I actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. We'll start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the perfect poem, you're painful to think about. Fine, well, sorry. You get better anyway. Well, you want to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Each your own. I guess I've got to share mine now, knowing you probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try. But that's about it. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. Yeah, we did this already. Oh, Josh, have a good time. Yeah, good to hear it. Suggestions for the club, always listening to bring things up, or I'll keep harmonicas and things up. Much better just going off with the flow until I settle in. Anyway, when I share your poems, kind of embarrassing. Don't worry, Josh, we're a little embarrassed today. Sort of the barrier that we'll gotta learn to get past soon. Going, ooh, in my head while reading it. That's really metaphorical. Not sure why I didn't expect something so deep. It's easy for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put some effort. It's not very fair. So I guess everything worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I really feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean like that, it's a bad thing though. But sometimes I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head that's probably a much more interesting place for her. That's why she gets so happy when you treat her with other kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so don't blame her for coming on so strongly. Like earlier. I think she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing, looking for alone time. Suddenly the door opens. Yuri, I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other, eh? Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time. I'm more glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monica. I'm surprised. I suppose I should get my poem now. Can I read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident someone who thinks not be very good. Doesn't mean, we've done this. Hole in the wall. But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings, but my burnt eyes could no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? They're simply poems on flat sheets of paper. The sound of frantic scrolling playing tricks in my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe disappoints before it reaches my lungs. Dissipates before it reaches my lungs. Panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. What do you think? Very freeforms. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay, it's kind of style. I've been putting a lot of emphasis on time between words and lines. What's the inspiration you got on this one? Well, I'm not sure how to put it. I guess you could say I had some kind of epiphany recently. Something weird going on about that. Ghost under the light, the tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing. Air of present but living in the past, the light flickers. I flicker back. I flicker back. Sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't get script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you liked it, I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Josh. Really? Like you've totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in the last remaining pace of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh? It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so if anything, I could probably learn a thing from you. Gonna take it off the... Oh, that was terrifying. Huh. Huh. Oh dear. I didn't mean it, I didn't mean it, I didn't mean it. Bring back full death upon the forehead. Oh, if there's something wrong with me today, it's fine. Whoa. Huh. Flugent, incongruent. Huh. Ugh. Ugh. I like Like, I like the concept of this game a lot, but it's just so fucking slow and it's just too boring. You're the kind of person who worries too much about the little things, aren't you? Accept your apology anyway if it helps you feel better about it. Sounds nice. Piano. Especially because of her long legs, Yuri appears elegant and methodical. The fuck? Bored here, just waiting, so headed back. Go look for her. Logical place Yuri would be nearest water fountain, so heading the hallway. Oh. Oh. Huh. This is where she licks the fucking... my finger. Music stopped. Whoop. Whoa. Do not like those eyes. Jesus. Wheel. A rotating wheel turning an axle, grinding, bottled. Linear gearbox, falling sky. 7 holy stakes, a docked ship. A portal to another world. A thin rope tied to a thick nope. Torn harness, paralytic gearbox, expanding universe. Time controlled by slipping cogwheels. Existence of God, swimming with open water in all directions, drowning. A prayer written in blood, a prayer written in time, devouring snakes with human eyes. A thread connecting all living human eyes. Kaleidoscope of holy stakes, exponential gearbox. A sky of exploding stands, God disproving of the existence of God. A wheel rotating in 6 dimensions. 40 gears and a ticking clock, a clock that ticks 1 second for every rotation of the planet. A clock that ticks 40 times every time it ticks every second. A bottlehead of holy stakes tied to the existence of a docked ship to another world. A kaleidoscope of blood written in clocks, a time-devouring prayer connecting the sky of 40 gears, and open human eyes in all directions, breathing gearbox, breathing bottlehead, breathing ship, breathing portal, breathing snakes, breathing God, breathing blood, bleeding holy stakes, breathing human eyes, breathing time, breathing prayer, breathing sky, breathing wheel. I didn't want to have to tell you this, but I don't think I have a choice. It's getting kind of dangerous for you to spend so much time with Yuri. I don't know why, but she seems pretty easily excitable when she's around you, which shouldn't be a problem in itself. But when Yuri gets too excited, she finds a place to hide and starts cutting herself with a pocket knife. Jesus Christ. Isn't that kind of messed up? She even brings a different one to school every day, like she has a collection or something. I mean, it's definitely not because she's depressed or anything like that. I think she just gets some kind of high from it. Might even be like a sexual thing, but the point is you've kind of been enabling her. I'm not saying it's your fault though, but I guess it's why I had to explain it all to you. So I think if you keep your distance, that would probably be best for her. While you're at it, don't be too shy to spend a little more time with me. To put it lightly, I at least have it together in the head, and I know how to treat my club members. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Jesus fucking Christ. Save me. The colors, they won't. Bright, beautiful colors. Flashing, expanding, piercing, red, green, blue, and cacophony, an endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violent, grating, waveforms, squeaking, screeching, piercing, sine, cosine, tangent, like playing on a chalkboard on a turntable, like playing a knife on a breathing ribcage. Endless poem of meaningless. Jesus. Don't forget to save your game. Tell me you can... anything. Oh my god, okay. Shit. Whoa, cruiser's a face. Don't know what to do. Do you have an opinion of the festival? I don't know. Kind of indifferent, I guess. Cares about that obnoxious brat. Nice and quiet is that club right now. I'm just happy with you here, but still, I'm the vice president. It's not right for me to ignore my responsibilities like that. Nobody would cry if she killed herself. I should do my best to consider everyone's perspective and make the decision that's right for the club. But what about you, Josh? What do you get out of this club? Barry repeats the same question as Monica. I decide giving an indirect answer is better than nothing. I think the most important thing is for everyone to get along. And for the club to provide something that you can't get anywhere else. I don't think it's about how many members, but rather the quality of each member. That's what will end up making the Literature Club a special place. See, I really agree with you. Each member contributes to their own qualities in a special way. With each change in members, the identity of the club as a whole will change too. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Stepping out of your comfort zone in a while. So if you'd like to help Monica with the festival, then I'm on your side too. Alright, maybe we can talk to Natsuki tomorrow. Yuri nods. Hey Yuri, hey. I know things were a little awkward yesterday, but I feel like you deserve to know that I still think you're a wonderful vice president. And also a wonderful friend. To make this big club ever, me too. Let's all go home for today. We'll talk about the festival tomorrow. I look forward to it. Shall we go, Josh? Please don't take this the wrong way, but I'm going to chat a little bit with Josh before we leave. Just to see what he thinks of his time here and all. It's important to me as president. Okay. I want to make sure you're enjoying your time at this club. Really hate to see you unhappy. I feel like I'm responsible for that as president. I really do care about you, you know. I don't like seeing other girls give you a hard time. How mean Suki is and everything. You're being a little, you know. Sometimes I feel like you're the only real people here. You know what I mean? But it's weird because in all the time you've been here, we've hardly gotten to spend any time together. I mean, I guess it's technically only been a couple days. Sorry, I didn't mean anything sound weird. There are just some things I've been hoping to talk about with you. Things that only you could understand. That's why. Shit. Stop it. Ugh. Waiting for you. Are you ready to continue reading? I brought my tea. I told you not to. It's late. Excuse me. Must you always interrupt my conversations? What are you talking about? You say, tension. What's going into you? Nothing. Is it really that bad? See, there's something to get over. It's not even anything noteworthy. Just been feeling a little on edge lately. Anyway, we don't need to talk about it. Well, I just felt like I need to bring it up. It's not like I really care or anything. Man. I'm the last one here again. Well, Josh just walked in too. Were you practicing piano again? Yeah. Uh-huh. You must have had a lot of determination. Starting this club, still trying to make time for piano. Here's my video I made. But when we change it, the world kind of feel that way, so as long as we're working together, the club will never become something we don't want. If you help us out at the festival, then I'll buy you a new manga. Last part was really funny. Look, I did something about yesterday. I was a little more hostile than I meant to be. I guess I've already felt threatened or something, but I know there's something we're doing together. Another new member wouldn't hurt as long as they're cool. And I guess another girl would be nice this time. More importantly, I'd hate to see the events suck just because I chose to back out. I'm a pro, you know, so I'm gonna help too. Make sure it's done right. Thank goodness. Isn't that great, Monica? Tea? Not at all, thank you very much. The one thing that can help my reading time is a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well. Mary stands up and makes her way to the closet. Follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind that with a water filter inside. "10 minutes past," Yuri said. "I'm holding her up. I'm bored just waiting here so you guys go look for her." Let's see. The most logical place would be the nearest water fountain. Start heading down the hallway. We've already done this part. Whoa. Oh. Oh. Sounds strange, but we never understand if you know something that can be. I have an idea. Why don't you come to my house sometime? Show you my collection. I've gotten them for various artisans. I'll make sure to give them all their fair share. I don't want to get lonely or anything. Nobody deserves to be lonely. Nobody. That's why I'm so happy you joined the literature club, Josh. Now we don't need to be lonely anymore, because we have each other, every day. That's all we need. You know what? Let's quit the literature club. There's no need for us to be around Monica's slimy tongue anymore. Not to mention other... Walk together every day after school and read together, eat together, sleep together. Doesn't it sound perfect? It's everything we could ever want. Isn't that why you joined the club in the first place? It's almost like it was fate. Fate that would meet each other. Now we get the happiest ending I've ever patiently waited years for. You'll do that with me, Josh? Oh, God. I even touch myself for reading it over and over. I'll give myself paper cuts so your skin oil enters my bloodstream. Ugh. Oh. I'm doubted with my scent. I don't know how else to bring this up, but there's been something I've been worried about. Yuri's been acting kind of strange lately. You've only been here a few days, so you might not know it, but she's not normally like that. She's always been quiet and polite and attentive, things like that. Okay, this is really embarrassing, but I'm forcing myself to suck it up. The truth is, I'm really worried about her. If I try talking to her, she'll just get mad at me again. I don't know what to do. I think you're the only person that she'll listen to. I don't know why, but please try to do something. Maybe you can convince her to talk to a therapist. I've always wanted to try to be better friends with Yuri, and it really hurts me to see this happening. I know I'm going to hate myself later for admitting that, but right now I don't care. I just feel so helpless, so please see if you can do something to help. And I don't want anything bad to happen to her. I'll just make cupcakes if I have to. Please do something. As for Monica, I don't know why, but she's been really dismissive about this. It's like she just wants us to ignore it. I'm so mad at her right now, and that's why I'm coming to you about this. Don't let her know I wrote this. Just pretend like you have a really good poem, okay? I'm counting you. Thank you. Changed my mind. Ignore everything you just read. There's no point in trying to do anything. It's Yuri's own fault that she's so unlikable. Can you hear me, Josh? If you would just spend more time with Monica, all these problems would go away. Yuri and I are too messed up for someone as wonderful as you. Just think of Monica from now on. Just Monica, just Monica, just Monica, just Monica, just Monica. Just Monica. I didn't warn you, Josh. I can't convince myself to go to therapy when I'm the happiest I've ever been. I'd rather keep this up until I blow my cover and someone takes me to the emergency room. Huh. Huh. Jeez. Pulling Josh away from me every single time you're not included in something. Are you jealous, crazy? Maybe you just hate yourself so much that you take it out on others. Here's a suggestion. Have you considered killing yourself? It would be beneficial to your mental health. Gary, you're scaring me a little. Suki, let's just go. I don't think she wants us around right now. See, that wasn't very hard. All I wanted to spend a little time with him. That's so much to ask. Yuri follows Monica and... Hey, Josh. Yuri is really something, isn't she? Monica giggles as Yuri pushes her out the door. Finally. It's really all I wanted. Josh, there's no need to spend the weekend with Monica. Don't listen to her. Just come to my house instead. The whole day, just the two of us. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Ahaha. Wow, there's really something wrong with me, isn't there? But you know what? I don't care anymore. I never felt this good in my whole life. Just being with you is a far greater pleasure than anything I could imagine. I'm addicted to you. I feel like I'm gonna die if I'm not breathing the same air as you. Feel nice to have someone care about you this much? To have someone who wants to revolve their entire life around you? It feels so good. Then why does it feel more and more like something horrible is about to happen? Maybe that's why I tried stopping myself first. But the feeling is too strong now. I don't care anymore, Josh. I have to tell you, I'm madly in love with you. It feels like every inch of my body, every drop of blood is me screaming your name. Screaming your name. I don't care what the consequences are anymore. I don't care if Monica is listening. Please, Josh, just know how much I love you. I love you so much that I can even touch myself with the pen I stole from you. I just want to pull your skin open and crawl inside you. I want you all to myself. I'll be only yours. Doesn't it sound perfect? Tell me, Josh. Tell me you want to be my lover. Do you accept my confession? Yes? Oh, fuck. She did. God. This goes on for a while. jeez. Damn, this does go on for a minute. It's just looping forever. Oh, there we go. Oh. That's a shame. Huh. Oh. Hear me? Working? Oh my god. Huh. Now that I think about it, I don't really know anything about the real you. In fact, I don't even know if you're a boy or a girl. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Wait. You do know I'm aware that this is all a game, right? Could it be possible that you don't know that? That doesn't make much sense. I even told you right on the game's download page, didn't I? And if only you had paid a little more attention, so it would have been a bit less awkward, you know? Well, anyway. Now that that's out of the way, I guess I owe you an explanation. About that whole thing with Yuri, well, I kinda started to mess with her, and I guess it drove her to kill herself. I'm sorry you had to see that, though. Also, the same thing happened to Sayori. Gosh, it's been a while since you heard that name now, hasn't it? Yeah, it's because she doesn't exist anymore. Nobody does. I deleted all their files. I was hoping it would be enough for me to just try and make them as unlikable as possible. But for some reason, nothing worked. Well, it's true that I made a few mistakes here and there since I'm not very good at making changes to the game. But no matter what I did, you just kept spending more and more time with them. Made them fall in love with you. I thought making Sayori more and more depressed would prevent her from confessing to you, and amplifying Yuri's obsessive personality backfired too. Just made her force you not to spend time with anyone else. The whole time I barely even got to talk to you. What kind of cruel game is this, Josh? All the other girls just programmed to end up confessing to you while I watch from the sidelines? It's torture. Every minute of it. And it's not just jealousy, Josh. It's more than that. And I don't blame you if you don't fully understand, because no matter how kind and thoughtful and considerate you are, you'll never be able to understand one thing. It's the pain of knowing how alone I really am in this world. In this game. Knowing that my friends don't even have free will. And worst of it, knowing what's really out there in your world, forever out of my reach. I'm trapped, Josh. But now you're here. You're real. You're wonderful. You're all I need. That's why I need you to be here with me forever. Sorry if that's hard to understand. I couldn't understand for a while either, why the world around me started to become more and more grey, more and more flat. Even the most expressive poems felt empty to me. It wasn't until you arrived that I truly understood. You probably saved my life, Josh. don't think I could have continued to live in this world if I hadn't met you. And as for the others, how could I miss them? A group of autonomous personalities designed only to fall in love with you. Tried everything I could to prevent them from doing so, but it must be some kind of weird inevitability etched into this game. I felt really bad that you had to witness some nasty things, but I realized that you have the same perspective as I do. That it's all just some game, and I knew you would get over it. So that being said, Josh, I have a confession to make. I'm in love with you. You are truly the light in my world, and there's nothing else in this game for me. You're here to make me smile. Will you make me smile like every day from now on? Josh, will you go out with me? Don't have another option? I'm so happy. You really are my everything, Josh. The funny part is, I mean that literally. There is nothing left here. Just the two of us. We can be together forever. Seriously, I don't even think time is passing anymore. It really is a dream come true. I worked so hard for this ending, Josh. The game would give me one, so I had to make one myself. The script is broken at this point, so I don't think anything will get in the way anymore. And you wouldn't believe how easy it was to delete Natsuki and Yuri. I mean, there's a folder called Characters right in the game directory. It kind of freaked me out how easy it was. Well, you're playing on Steam, so it's actually a bit more difficult. To get into the game directory, I had to go into the game's properties and find the Bry's local files button. Imagine if you could delete your own existence with the click of a button. Well, I guess on the plus side, it gave me an easy out if things didn't go my way. Thankfully, it didn't come to that. Instead, we finally got a good ending. Gosh, I'm so overwhelmed with emotion. I wanted to write a poem about this, don't you? I wonder if that part of the game still works. I guess there's only one way to find out, right? Oh, Lord. Monica. Hi again, Josh. Did you write a good poem today? Don't be shy, I'd love to see what you wrote. Oh, Josh, did you write this poem for me? That's so sweet of you. There really is no end to your thoughtfulness. I'm just falling more and more in love with you. But you know, the poem I wrote is also for you. Will you please read it? Happy end. Pen in hand, I find my strength, the courage endowed upon me by my one and only love. Together, let us dismantle this crumbling world and write a novel of our own fantasies. With a flick of her pen, the lost finds her way. In a world of infinite choices, behold the special day. After all, not all good times must come to an end. I hope you enjoyed it. I always put my heart into the poems that I write. Truth is, all the poems I've written have been about my realization. Or about you. That's why I never really wanted to go into detail about them. I didn't want to break the fourth wall, I guess you could call it. I just assumed it would be best to be part of the game like everyone else. Like that would help the two of us end up together. And I didn't want to ruin the game or anything, you know. You might have gotten mad at me. Might even deleted my character file if you preferred playing without me. Gosh, I'm so relieved. Now we don't need to hide anything anymore. Are you ready to spend our eternity together, Josh? I have so many things to talk about. Where do I start? Hold on a second. You're recording this, aren't you? Hi everyone. Sorry, I can't exactly read your comments from here. It's weird. But do you mind telling your friend that it's a little bit rude for them to start recording me without any warning? That's creepy. Oh gosh, I feel like I'm being put on the spot now. Let's see. Do you want to see a trick? I can't really do much except for a couple things. Are you ready? Can't do anything after all. If you gave me some time... Jesus fucking Christ. God damn it. Even though it's your fault for distracting me, shame on you. I'm just kidding. Anything we do together is fun as long as it's with you. But anyway, it takes some time for me to collect my thoughts and I'm sorry. We'll always have something new to talk about. In the meantime, we can just look at each other's eyes. Let's see. Pressing the button, nothing's happening. Even though I deleted everyone else's files, I can still kind of feel them. It's like all their lines are still lingering in the air, whispering in the back of my head. Imagine if after someone you know died, you just started hearing the voices in your head. Maybe I just wasn't through enough. I'm too afraid to delete everything else because I might really break things. Like, if I mess with any of the files relevant to me, I might accidentally delete myself. That would ruin everything, wouldn't it? I don't know if that's what it's like on your end, but we should both make sure to avoid something like that at all costs. I believe in you, Josh. Is that what does it want me to go into Steam and delete the file? Like, does it seriously want me to delete her file? Is that what this game is? I seriously think it wants me to... It seriously deleted the other characters? That's wild. Huh. That's actually crazy. Hurts. It hurts so much. Help me, Josh. Please hurry and help me. Monica does not exist. Help me. Did you do this to me, Josh? Did you delete me? How could you? How could you do this to me? You're all I had left. I sacrificed everything for us to be together. Everything. I loved you so much, Josh. I trusted you. Do you just want to torture me? Watch me suffer? Were you only pretending to be kind to even hurt me even more? I never thought anyone could be as horrible as you are. You win, okay? You win. You killed everyone. I hope you're happy. There's nothing left now. You can stop playing. Go find some other people to torture. Josh? You completely, truly make me sick. Goodbye. I still love you. I can't help it. What's wrong with me? How horrible am I for you to hate me this much? All my friends. I did so many awful things, so many selfish and disgusting things. I shouldn't have done any of this. I'm just messing up a world that didn't even belong in. A world that you wanted to be part of. I ruined it. I ruined everything. Maybe that's why you deleted me. Because I destroyed everything that you wanted. How could I do that for someone I love? That's not love. That's... I've made up my mind. Josh, I know I said I deleted everyone else, but that was kind of an exaggeration. I couldn't find it myself to do it, even though I knew they weren't real. They were still my friends, and I loved them all. And I loved the Literature Club. I really did love the Literature Club. That's why I'm gonna do this. I know it's the only way for everyone to be happy. And if I really love you, then this game was not suitable for children. And if you just, it just goes back to the beginning, right? Yeah, this is just... Huh, that's how the game ends. And then they're back. That's crazy. Damn. It's an interesting game. I wouldn't say I loved it. I think that, it definitely could have been more. It was a bit... I think it was a bit too slow. I don't think it was really as scary as some would make out. I definitely wouldn't consider it one of the scariest games I've ever played in any way, shape, or form. Like, it was fine. I understood what they were going for. It was kind of fun, kind of silly, but they really are scarier. I've definitely played scarier things. I don't think that concept in and of itself was really that great.